Land your plane, land your plane, land your plane, land your plane.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for boarding with Land Your Plane podcast. You are on flight 29. I'm alongside with my flight attendants. Introduce yourself.
Greetings. This is Venus Noir. I'm bringing love everywhere I go. That's how I got the nickname of Venus. And I'm bringing the perspective of the sacred divine feminine into flight. And I'm ready for takeoff.
I'm 34 and a half. I'm your favorite cousin from an auntie and uncle you ain't even know you had. And I definitely feel like y'all lied on the application. I filled out the application when Spirit got shut down. I was supposed to work at this airline and it feels like we're just doing a podcast. I don't know.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Girl, you're so crazy.
Oh my God, come on.
Yeah, we in the building. Here we go. Yeah, I'm the pilot now. Look at that. I got a promotion. Okay, now I'm back to flight attendant.
My phone tweaking already. Thank you for tapping in. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. If you have just tuned into the channel, it's your first time, I appreciate you. There's more shows like this one. Go check them out. Like, share, subscribe, tap in. Hit that QR code. You see it. Put it in the corner. Pause the screen. Do your thing. Bang. And how y'all feeling? How y'all living, man?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Reese said, "Let's go."
Let's go.
Be ready to take the flight.
Yo. Yeah, your background is crazy, bro.
I don't understand. Yo, I'm not. We talk about that later because you see TJ wrote a thing in it, but I don't understand why people come on the podcast if you're busy. Just wait till you can get everything together. I love your ambition, but just wait.
Real talk. Tonight we talking about. We got a couple things we're gonna talk about. Unless y'all could throw some little sidebars or whatever. But tonight. Somebody from Kick. So, I enjoyed your stream. I had some suggestions I want to share with you.
That's a bot. It's a bot.
You don't want to share nothing with me.
Don't quote the bot. I think it's he's going to share with you. That's a bot. It's not even a person.
Shout out to Kick though. When y'all do catch on, if y'all are viewing on Kick, definitely come on over YouTube and tap that notification. Like, subscribe, and all that. But yeah, tonight we're talking about who's checking for who.
We're not checking for the bots.
Are men checking for women, or are women checking for men? No, have men been seeking for women, or have women been searching for men? So I had a little video. I think that would be relevant. We're gonna watch it and then give our thoughts, our opinions, and any questions we got after that. We're gonna dive into it. Here go the video.
I grew up
Which brings us to the question: who's checking for who? What's your thoughts?
That's a loaded topic there. Loaded topic. Loaded. I think she can, just in relation to what she said, um, she doesn't, if, there are different Black men. There are African men, there are Caribbean men, there are Afro Latino men. And then, of course, there's the Black American, the foundational Black American man. And I think the most appeal is with the foundational Black American man, because all eyes are on America. America has deemed itself the greatest country in the world. So everybody's paying attention to America, and that's where Black Americans are from. But I think she doesn't know the full story. She's speaking from a very superficial dynamic. She doesn't know our history. She doesn't know the psychology that has emerged and evolved within the colonization and slavery. Light skin, all of that stuff plays a role, I think, in creating these stereotypes about Black people and Black men in particular. During pre-slavery and slavery and colonialism, it was both Black men and Black women were labeled as highly sexed. And of course, there's the legend of the Black man's prowess, his member, and
BBCs, BBC. You're not talking about the news.
and so I think that's really what it is. But I think the unfortunate thing is, I recommend all Black men read the book Cultivating Male Sexual Energy, because when you understand the power of your sexual energy is not just about hooking up with someone and screwing. Sexual energy is actually your power, it's your essence. And too much sex weakens a man. And I believe there is propaganda being pushed about the Black man's sexuality, so he can be weak. He'll never be ready for battle if he's always having sex. So hopefully this okay. My phone just made a noise. I apologize. But checking for men, checking for women, I think we're checking for each other. In light of the question you asked, I think it's or men they're natural hunters, so men are actually going to be pursuing, because that's nature. But I think we all desire, so everybody's checking for everyone. you know we all have a desire to be with somebody, and I land with that.
Respectfully.
Um, I somewhat agree with Venus, and I also somewhat disagree. Uh, I feel like some of the stuff the lady was saying may be correct. I do agree with the things that are just obvious facts, that there is a sexual aspect to, or rumors about BBCs and all of that stuff that maybe get somebody going on. But I'm a big believer people are attracted to who's attracted to them. I'm a big believer into that. When besides anything that breaks a law, like you're not gonna be attracted to niggas if they're attracted to you if you're not homosexual. You know what I mean? But to me, I feel like when you're outside and you're looking for people and you're finding and you're trying to mate or whatever, you're getting it, and then you're whoever the best, whatever, like no pun intended, the best fit for you. And I think I said this before. I don't know if it was on here, but I also feel like if a person is wealthy, the places they're going to and the people they're around may be of opposite cultures or whatever. And I think that that's going to lead to you possibly connecting with somebody of opposite culture on a higher level. I don't think it's too much of it, even a fantasy, too much from one side. It might be fantasy from one side and it might be a fantasy from you. But I feel like, I tried to start a hashtag, but I'm not famous. I tried to do hashtag erase your race a couple of years ago. It didn't go up. I feel like I believe in the Yaku theory, right? Can I ask you that, Venus? Do you believe in the Yaku theory?
Yaku.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to tell me what that is. I'm sorry.
Dr. Yaku is the person that they say kind of fake created light skin Caucasian people.
Okay, okay,
Do you
okay.
believe? All right. Well, do you? I mean, even if you don't believe in the actual theory, like per se, like word for word, do you believe that Africans are the original people on this earth? That
Absolutely.
and everybody comes from them.
I don't believe everybody comes from them, no.
So
But I
you think
do.
that you think that other
I
people
believe
are
there's a
aliens?
yeah, I do. Actually, I do. I do. Absolutely do. I do. I
You
have
know,
no
I had
doubt.
to.
Yeah.
That's funny because I have a joke about them being aliens too because of the sun or whatever. But
Yeah, I do. I've
how does
had
the sun bother you? Yeah, that's awkward.
I have, because I've had, I had a car service in New York City,
Uh-huh.
and I had over 30,000 customers, and
Uh-huh.
majority of them were of that persuasion. And
Yeah.
so being a driver is kind of like being a bartender. They just open up and start talking to you and telling you stuff. And after several thousand conversations with them, let me tell
You,
you,
you said
they're
this is ET. This is Alpha.
yeah. I was like, these people are different, you know. They're, they are
Reese
di-
Reese
they're
Cake
different.
said you said the sun doesn't attack us. Yeah, I don't know.
There
I
are
mean,
other.
people, but is that not culturally? It's not just like, isn't that you're talking about meeting people from, yeah, obviously from different, I hate the word race, but races, and then they're also from a different culture. So wouldn't that already create some differentness there too? Essentially, even besides the race, like, wouldn't that create some difference? Just us coming from different walks of lives.
I've had conversations with people as far as Singapore, India, you name it. I've had conversations with them,
Yeah.
and all Indians, Koreans, Chinese, Japanese, Hispanics. We in the profession I was in, I was just always in contact with these people. Everybody's in agreement about them.
About them.
Everybody, they are. Everybody. Everybody says the same thing. If you really sit down and had a heart to heart with people of other ethnicities, if you
Yeah.
will, they all have the same grievances.
Okay. Well, I do believe all people do come from um one group of people, which is the people with the highest pigmentation. I do think they derive from that. That's why I say I believe in the Yaku theory. I think I essentially also believe all people are one people, and that the race situation, and it's been even stated, the idea of race was created just for separation, just to keep people safer from each other and to create a confusion amongst each other. And there's already going to be confusion already because of the fact that people, like I said, have different raisins, different cultures, different things going on. So I feel like it just perpetuates that when you have, you know, those already, you have those things that are going to be different, but you have an inherent reason for why things are different. Oh, because they're different. So it's like, to me, I feel like the best rebellion would not be to promote it, but to get rid of it, to let it go as much as possible, to not have our own version of that, but to like say, you know what, these people weren't, either those people were right or they were wrong, and if they were wrong, then we should all be living as one. If they was right, then we should be having a war. And to me, those people who hurt people before, the people that had people as slaves, those people who took people from their family, those people were wrong. I don't think those people were right. And I don't think the idea of the things they did to keep what they wanted to believe to be right going was right. I think that, again, that was wrong. So to me, I feel like it's almost sad because we feel like, oh, those things are right or wrong, and then we go, all right, let's keep it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. I
That's
mean,
just my that's just my view. My apologies.
no, no, no. I respect your view. Thank you. Actually, I love hearing other people's perspective because I'm always a student,
Yeah.
and because I love learning. And the best education I've gotten is just from listening to other people, life experience. And I value that because it helps me to challenge my perspective of things, you know. and to evaluate myself as well. And myself personally, I'm very pro black, and it's not that I'm anti anything else, you
No, I
know.
get it. I get that.
And um
I get why
the
you would be pro yourself if that's how you identify. That makes sense. Not to cut you off, I'm just saying, but that makes ultimate sense. When you identify as something, I always tell people, I always say, you might have heard me say this before, I'm misogynist. You feel me?
yes,
I'm a man. I if you ask me who's smarter, men or women, if I ask you who's smarter, men or women, who would you say?
I wouldn't. I don't go by a sex thing. I go by an individual thing.
I know.
But
All right, that's a good.
I yeah,
That's a safe. That's a safe answer.
it is. But
That's a
I don't.
very safe answer. But you do get, not to cut you off, but you do get my point, right?
Yeah, I
If
do.
who would I say is smarter? I'm gonna say men are smarter. You
Yeah.
know, if not every man is smarter than every woman, but I would like to believe that a majority of us would be, because that's something I identify as a man. So I think that identity and what you identify is gonna ground your belief systems in certain ways that you might not even think of. Because yes, you should. If I identify as black, why wouldn't I be pro black?
I
That
see.
would be
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
that,
I mean, misogynistic is not necessarily. It's where does that come from? Like, why are you misogynistic?
I do believe that men should be in charge and that women should be listening to men for the majority of it. I have changed, and a lot of times I do say it in jest, because I do now understand that everybody's relationship can be different. I've seen people who have successful relationships where the woman is in charge and they listen to the woman or whatever, I guess. But for me personally, I think that men are supposed to be leaders and women should be following that.
Okay. And is that something you were taught, or is that something that it just kind of evolved from your experience?
I think it's a well, I was raised by a single mother.
Hmm.
So I can't say that she told me men should be in charge. But just being a man and wanting to be in charge, yeah, and it seeming to me that that was something that was already there in place as I got older. Like I said, and even then, I'd say it in jest, because I now feel like everybody's relationship should be a personal experience. So
Yeah.
if I was to meet you and your husband and you were in charge, I know you're not. I'm just saying, but I'm giving an example
Hmm.
hypothetically. But if I
Hmm.
was to meet somebody else relationship and I seen that their girl was in charge, when we leave together to go somewhere, I'm not going to be telling them like, "Oh, you let your girl run shit." I'm not going. I'm not. I'm just going. Like, if they're living successful, I'm not saying nothing about it. Even if they leaving Nazi, I'm not getting into it. If that's what you want to go on for you, that's your life. I'm not going to try to, you see on TV people hating. Oh, you let her tell you when to come inside. I'm not. I'm not that type of person. But to me personally, what I want my girl to tell me when I could come in or give me leadership, no, I would not want that.
Well, the thing is um very interesting perspective. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you
No,
for your honesty and your blatant honesty as well. Uh, when it comes to who's more intelligent, you said smart. Men may be smarter, but I think women have more intelligence intuitively. And intelligence is something that's organic and divine. And matriarchal societies tend to be more peaceful. And
are,
they,
my bad, girl. My
yes,
bad. My bad. I was gonna say,
um,
are men divine? I was gonna ask you that question. Are men
yes,
divine?
there
I,
is there is a potential for but this is the thing, because men are, see, man, you all let me finish a thought.
my
Yeah.
bad. No, I just had to. I was because I know I get what you're saying. Women are divine and they're special, and I'm like, well, are men divine and special? No,
Well,
no, they're potential.
it's this is the thing, because men have a battle that we don't have to contend with. In other words, you have to battle your animal nature. your sex drive is very, very, very high. And he's laughing. He thinks, and but it's true. It's true, right? Isn't a man's sex drive very high?
I don't know
And
every man. I only can speak for
but
me. My
I'm
sex
just
drive is
well,
high.
you just said you're pro male and you're pro
Yeah.
misogynistic, so I would think you have
Yeah.
all the answers.
No, I have, and I also said that I have grown a little bit to know that things are very personal experiences a lot of times. And for me personally, can I say my sex drive is high? For the most part, it has been throughout my life. I have had a high sex drive. At the same time, uh, I don't participate in this. I've never ever like bought coochie. You know what I mean? I'm not
Hmm.
judging anybody who did, but I've never paid for coochie in the sense of here go $20, let's have sex. I've never done that. So
$20.
whatever. Here go $40, $100. I've never done that. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
So to me, I would say those people's sex drive is probably higher than mine. I've never raped a person. Never raped a
Hmm.
person. Never done that. I don't. If I hear no, that's almost a turn off for me. You know what I mean? No. What? All right, I'll find somebody who will say yes. I'm not about to sit here and take it from you or whatever. Ah man, so it's like I don't know. I can't. I don't know. Those to me, those people have to me higher sex drives than me because they can't even live life at that point. You know what I'm saying? To the point where they're
Hmm.
becoming a vagrant and an animal, like you just said. They're animalistic. But do I feel like I would qualify as an animal? No, I would not think that.
But there's a new discussion. I forget the brother who started, and I've actually because I worked around a lot of men when I had my car service, and in that experience, I saw there was two types of men, and I grouped them. One is the man, and there were the males, and the males were not. They were usually assholes, and they were often disrespectful. um they would just do things that was just like just get out my face, whereas the men were very protective. They always checked on me. They wanted to make sure I was okay at all times. There was nothing they wouldn't do for me, and that's where I became a fan of men. And it also helped me to see the value of why the creator God, whom however you honor, the most high power, why men, because I grew up in a single parent household as well, and my father was murdered, and um so I didn't have that male presence. I learned how to do things that men would normally do, even if it's something simple as taking out the garbage, learning how to fix things, little things. Of course, the big things you have to get somebody to fix, but little things, hanging, hammering something in, or just little things. And I never saw it as masculine. It's just something that had to be done. But I realized that I was actually more masculine in that dynamic. And because my mother is also of the 1970s, and that whole era, women were being propagandized, especially Black women, about them not needing men. And so that mentality was pushed on Black girls my age, and we kind of took it on, but I really didn't take it that seriously, but it did make an impact. And so the value of a man got shifted, and then single parenting became very prevalent, which I don't agree with. Being raised by a single mother myself, I think if you can be in a two-parent household, or at least in a community, because it imbalances the child. The mother, if she doesn't have support, then a lot of her needs she ends up projecting onto the child, because her needs are not being supported by a partner or a community of people. And I find that is very detrimental in the progress and the prosperity of the whole community. And if you ever notice, in the Black community specifically, as our marriage rate have gone down, our crime rates have gone up. And so, and there's something to be said about that, for real, all jokes aside. It's just something to be said about that. And we as Black women, especially the next generation coming up, we have to encourage our younger Black sisters to, hold off, like try not to have children until you're really, really ready, and because they've done many studies that when you take out the adult males of a community, even in the animal kingdom, the youth begin to wild out. They just go buck wild. And And I've even seen compilations that's really, really cute on social media of like a child misbehaving, and then the father comes in the room, snaps his finger, and the child, the child like, straightens up. So I've learned the value of a man. And whenever I think we have value in each other. But I think the whole misogynistic thing, it I would say, and this is you may take offense, and I want to apologize in advance. That's an ego thing,
Can I ask you a
So
question? Can before like, and I don't mean is believing that feminism is divine. Is that not nothing to do with ego? I'm just asking you.
no, feminism is political. It's not divine at all.
All right.
Femininity, yes. Yeah, feminism is all about
So
politics.
when you use the word that represents women and say that it has an ultimate divinity, you don't think that has nothing to do with ego? I'm just asking.
What I'm saying there, because there's actually some truth to it from a spiritual metaphysical dynamic. It is just true. It is true.
No,
It's
I'm
just
not disagreeing with it.
it,
I
you know.
promise you, I'm not. But I hope that you could, maybe, like you said, you could clearly see. I know you're intelligent. You could kind of see the ground of what I'm saying as being a part of a group, especially one that you're not even chosen to be a part of. You don't choose. You don't get to choose whether you're a woman or a man. That's something that's kind of. I guess you do now. 2026.
I
I
was
get
gonna
you.
say, I was gonna say,
Yeah, I caught myself. I guess you get to do it now. Reese said, definitely agree kids should be raised in two-parent households, and also agree being raised to pick up traits from what men should do. All right. I get all of that. I'm saying that essentially that I know the words are funny because one of the first things we learn in recovery is if I ask you a word, and I wanted to play that game on this show. I wanted to do that. I wanted to
What's
play
that?
that game one day. Well, I don't know if we don't have to do it tonight, but one day I want to do it where you ask a person a word
Oh, don't
and
explain to the audience. Let's just play it one day. Probably Thursday.
okay. Are you sure I shouldn't
Right there.
explain it?
You gonna spoil her.
They would know. Are we gonna have to explain it then? I'm gonna explain it again.
And
That's what I'll
break
explain it.
open.
Okay. All right. All right. My apologies. But yeah. So the whole point is
Give him
just
something to come back to.
people's definitions and actual definitions. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. That's the summary of it. You get like so. I feel like
Right there.
even when I say I'm misogynistic, do I mean in the exact way that somebody else may mean it? Possibly not. I just mean that I'm a man who believes that men should be in charge mostly. That's my definition of it. And I'm, you know what I mean? And maybe think things about men would be great, like, oh, men are stronger than women. I'm sure there's some women who are, but I also get the joke because I'm sure there's some women who are stronger than some men, like, physically. I'm sure there's a woman out there who probably can lift more on the bench than I can lift right now. If I were to go get on the bench and try to lift weights, I'm sure there's some woman, I don't know where she's at. I know there's a woman who could go out there and probably
There's
just
mad women that's gonna come out the woodworks and show you. Nigga, we out here.
really,
but I'm also there's probably a dude who can outlift her. But that's not something I do. I don't lift weights all the time. But I'm just saying that I know that even some of my beliefs or things that I say or whatever, I get the joke within them. Maybe because I'm a comedian, maybe because not. I get that it's almost always a joke. That anytime you, what you about to say? My bad. Go.
no, I said I got you. What you putting down?
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, but I am a man. So yeah, if I'm gonna be am I gonna be a person who believes in men more or women more? Who would I believe is the who would, so it's like I was watching a thing about Dogmata, right? You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
No,
You've never seen Dogmata?
I don't think I have.
I don't want to ruin it for you now.
I've been in books for the last 20 years, so
All right. Dogmata's well, I'll tell you some of the damn, I'm gonna have to ruin it to get to the point. But Dogmata's a movie made by Kevin Smith.
okay,
And I guess it's an over 20-year-old movie. So at this point, it shouldn't be no spoilers for
okay.
anybody.
I'm looking it
But
up right now.
Dogmata, It has it's a great movie. It's hard to find, but sometimes you can find it on YouTube for free because there's a whole thing with Harvey Weinstein and all of that. However, like I said, it's written by Kevin Smith. I know you might know who Kevin Smith is, right?
Okay, it was made in 1999.
Yeah, so it's 26 years, 27 years old.
Yes. And
So
Ben
it's no,
Affleck.
yeah, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Chris Rock, Atlanta Morissette, and that's the all right. So, and most people, when they talk about divinity or God, they believe that God is a man, right? Not
Right.
everybody, but a majority of people would say a majority of religions place God as a man. And that movie, for some reason, they end up making God a woman, and that was like a big thing that people were mad about the movie about. And so for me, like, if you ask me, a man is God a man, which one makes more sense to me? I would say, yeah, it does make more sense that God's a man. But even in, like I said, I can also understand why I would think that God would be a woman. That does make sense too. But I get why a man would want God to be a man. The same way people want God associated with race. Some people will say God is black or God is, you know what I mean? Some people believe God. It's the same thing where if you're already tied in with a group, you want them to be involved. And I'll land with that.
I feel you. I feel you. And because I think that's what it ignited this dynamic of the conversation was I was saying that I was pro-black, and not that I'm anti anything else, but what really sparked my pro-blackness, if you will, was when I saw Roots as a child, for the first time, and that's when I learned that we were slaves because we don't, and I've told my Caucasian counterparts, we as Black people don't sit around the table talking about slavery. We just don't do that, but we should, we should be teaching our children the truth about who we are. We need to tell them our story
Who we
instead of,
were. Who we
you
were.
know,
My
what
apologies. My bad. I'm sorry.
you know
Who we were.
what as we're descendants of our story, our
Yes.
heritage.
Yes.
Because if you only identify yourself as a Black person based on the his story, and I mean his HIS story, you're only seeing yourself or being told who you are from who they're telling you you are, instead of telling your own story and you telling other people who we are. There's great value. And I think the value of Blackness gets displaced when it's just reduced to sexuality and trivial things. So I want to be with a Black man because he has a BBC, or I want, I like a woman's curvy, hips or whatever. And there are certain scientific facts that actually go with the nature of the nature of a Black woman's natural curves, and it's actually been scientifically proven through psychology that women who are hippie and with large butts, like myself, tend to be more intelligent. They've actually scientifically proven that, and you can look it
that's
up.
why you
You can
that's why you
actually look it
can't
up.
trust the big button to smile because they're
That's right,
intelligent.
because and I got both. I got a big butt and a smile. So, you know, so
Yo, that is the heavy. I never heard that. I'm not saying I'm not even gonna do no research. I instantly believe you that girls with big butts are intelligent. And so does Reese in the comment section. She said what she said. She said facts, big butt, and I'm intelligent. I guess that's where some of the brain is at in your butt. That's not just butt. That's brain in it.
well, what it is
It has
that
a brain of its own.
it's
Yeah,
nutrients. It's nutrients. It's
yeah. We thought
nutrients.
that was cellulite. That was brain wrinkles. I didn't know.
You're so awful. If I was right there with you right now, I tell you, I put my hands around your neck.
Don't show me, man. That's why we got to do it this way, so that way everybody can be free. and say what they got to say without the threats of the
No fighting
divine
on the
the
plane. No
divine
No
fighting on the
fighting on
feminist.
the
plane.
plane. No fighting on the plane.
Yeah,
But it's there. The actual is for nutrients for the babies. That's why we carry the excess,
the
and
baby eating
that's
from the butt.
that's where like a camel carries
Oh,
excess
nutrients
nutrients,
in their butt.
and in their back
Oh,
and the
Yeah,
hump.
they huh? Yeah.
So it's for the baby. So you
Okay.
carry excess nutrients in the hips and the thighs, so that when you're breastfeeding. And I'm glad you're finding this so amusing, Dirt.
No, I'm just mad I didn't notice before I had a girl because I would have been letting Shorty know, like, yo, try to get some of that nutrients, baby.
Fergie didn't. You didn't listen to that song with Fergie. She didn't tell you.
That's what I was thinking. How you gonna get with all those humps? All these others. I was thinking that. Oh, you got That's correct. That's heavy. My bad. I'm loving it. I love the energy though. Thank you. My bad, Venus. Thank you.
No, I'm
Don't
loving
mind
it.
me. Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
You're a comedian, so I got, you know,
Don't take me
my
serious. Yeah.
trust. I grew up with a lot of male cousins, so I know.
Yeah. I can't be taken seriously. No, I can't.
Appreciate your thoughts, man. That was good. That was good. Let's get into the first one.
We haven't
First
even gotten to a
question.
question yet.
Nah, I mean, I ain't tripping. I love the conversation. You feel me? I
Wait,
ain't
we
tripping.
talked for this long and nobody even
I
answered the
had a
question.
couple of thoughts about the video as far as what y'all was talking about. The notes that I took down as far as what I've seen and as far as what she's saying, some of them I know and some of them I haven't heard of. Interracial, interethnic, exogamy, outmarriage, multicultural, transnational, mixed race, biracial, multiracial, blended family, third culture kids. I never heard that one. That's crazy. And Loving versus Virginia, 1967 landmark Supreme Court case legalizing interracial marriage. And they got Loving Day, annual June 12th celebration marking that legal victory. So that was the interesting facts that I found around because y'all mentioned, interracial or, them sometimes seeking outside, you know, other cultures. So as far as, facts that I wanted to add was what I found. Cause they got all type of labels and terms on it, swirling. Like I say, you feel me? And they're gonna keep coming up with it. But
Why not just say loving? If you love somebody, you love them. If they love you, I'm happy for you.
at the end of the
Like we
day,
did, we both just said just now. We both agree that two-parent households is the best thing for a kid, and I think that it's kind of like we will be working in reverse to say that this if they already have a kid with each other, it don't matter what race they are at that point. They hopefully need to come together and raise that kid together. They have a kid. Are they supposed to now? Are they supposed to wake up and go, you know what? Oh shit, she only wanted me for my BBC. Now I could leave this. I could be a deadbeat or whatever, and not take care of this kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what is the mindset when you already pursued a relationship with this person and have grown and got to know this person and like I said, had a kid now? What do you do? How do you raise that kid, and where do you raise that kid at? You know what I mean? And what is it? How do you work with this person who you feel is maybe somebody you should or should not be with or whatever at that point?
now respectfully, land with that.
And I
All
want to
kids need
just,
two parents, no
can I
matter
clear
the
something up
race.
real quick? But
Go ahead.
because what I was saying by is that the mother she needs support, is what I'm saying. Not if it comes in if it comes in the form of a community. A single mother needs support. It's difficult to do it all by herself. And that's what I was, I just want to make that clear because it's no disrespect. I was raised by a single mother, and um I just know the challenges that comes with that is very hard on the child, and it's hard on the mother. And so if she doesn't have the support she needs, then a lot of times she ends up projecting that onto her children and expect her children to meet needs that are not being met by a partner or a community of people that can help her. I was fortunate. I did have my grandma, and my mom has some best friends, and they all kind of raised us together. But when it comes to the finances, and other things, and the emotional, there's like almost no emotional support at all. It's almost like complete emotional neglect if a mother is not being supported. She can't be a mother. She can't be nurturing. I always say when the father leaves, the mother leaves because now she cannot be a nurturer. She can't, she's just too tired. She's out here working two, three jobs. She ain't got time to come home and hug you and kiss you and reinforce your positive behavior and all that kind of stuff. She's too damn tired. And so where does the child go then to get their emotional needs? And a lot of times it's like the child's physical needs takes precedence over their emotional, mental, psychological, and spiritual needs. Like those needs end up being neglected. I just wanted to make sure I made that clear because I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone who's a single mom at all.
No, no, we
You
all we.
know.
So I want to say that also too. We all love you guys. My mother raised me by herself, I know I have disagreed with some stuff that Venus says, but I do agree with the idea of that when you lose your dad or you don't have a dad there with you. Um, I guess yeah, I still kind of disagree. I don't think it just could be anybody in the community. I think there's a very strong a strength in a male and a female figure raising a kid. I think if you just got like your sisters or just your friends who are also girls, that's cool because you got some support. But I think there is a dynamic that a female and a guy have when raising a kid that they allegedly, even if they don't, even if it's a stepdad or whatever, I still like it's still a dynamic that comes from that. So, like with my mother, she was always trying to be tougher on me. Like you said, I agree with you
Hmm.
saying she lost some of the nurturing because she knew I was a man and she didn't want me to be a pussy. You know? She didn't want me crying. She wasn't one of those mothers. But I've seen the opposite on some mothers where there are over nurturing to a boy. You know what I mean? My mother was more like, no, yeah, your dad's not here. You're gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not gonna have you running around here crying all day long. So I do feel like because of that, they do lose some of their nurturing, or maybe overdo it and don't have an opposite of that because they don't
E-
have another
Exactly.
person in there.
Yeah. If it's ideal,
Yeah, yeah.
it's good. If it's healthy, it's healthy because you have two parent households that are not healthy. Either one of the parents is alcoholic or if it's healthy, it's healthy. I'm in total agreement with you. If it can be a healthy mother father dynamic, yes. I agree with you.
And people not fortunate with those circumstances, what is their outreach then? Because a lot of us, you'll hear it. I grew up at Granny House. I heard a lot of
Mm,
that at West. I heard a lot of that when I was on the West Coast, and I'm like, oh, they living just like us on the East Coast. My family, you feel me? We not that. You feel me? As far as we thought, you feel me? We doing the same exact thing. You just on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. I grew up at my grandmother's house. You feel me? So we hear that a lot. So what is the outreach if dysfunctional home or you don't have that two parent home? What should somebody do? Where should they look for?
Want me to go first? Or you want to go first,
yes,
Venus?
yes. You can go first.
Um, I'm gonna quote Venus. I think you should read books. I'm not gonna say the exact book she said to read, but in general, I think that you should be looking for the knowledge. The first thing is acknowledging that you came from something that maybe was dysfunctional, and being willing to then work on create on rectifying that through education. I think education is very important. So yeah, you should be reading books. You can watch videos on YouTube. You can listen to motivational people. Listen to maybe get a therapist. Start working on yourself in some way, shape, or form to where you can heighten your ability to do better for your child so you can give them something different than what you had. But I think that it's the first step is admitting, like, without you, because I think it's harder too because we all love our parents. I love my mom. My mother passed away about 2 or 3 years ago. It's hard for me to
My
say
condolences.
no, bless, but I don't want to say out loud. I might not want to say that my mother wasn't the best mother she could be ever because I love her so much. So that makes it harder to say that. But if I say it, but I don't mean it as an insult, that she could have possibly been a better mother if things were different. That doesn't mean it's an ultimate insult. But I just think that yeah, you have to acknowledge is admitting that you might not have had the best raising, and not even like I said from a point of insulting your parents, but just knowing that all right, so I have problems that I can now be trying to work on, and I'll land with that.
Respectful.
Shane, could you repeat the question for me, brother?
We said we all agree that a kid should grow up in a two-parent household.
Hmm.
We all agree on that. However, if they don't have that, if they're not fortunate of that, you feel me, and have dysfunctional, single mother or um just not the two-parent household, what should be their outreach? Where should they look for or look to as far as
I think
uh
that
outreach? Where should they
I'm
look to?
I'm having a few technical difficulties. I apologize. Um,
Yeah.
I think that mother always put us in church, and I'm more, and I consider myself more spiritual now. Buddhism, teachings that I has really helped me navigate things. So, but when it because we're more than just flesh, yes, in the flesh, one is man, one is a boy, the other is a girl, and there's specific needs for a girl. There's specific all up over there. Specific needs for boys. The rites of passage into adulthood is different for boys and girls. And I think like for a girl, when she starts her menses, she gets inadvertent, accidental rites of passage. Because now, people are going to tell her, oh, you started your period. This means you're a woman, that kind of thing. And you kind of don't learn, you learn how to responsibly take care of yourself, but you're not a woman emotionally yet. And for a young boy, he gets even less of a rites of passage. So I think as a girl, I looked outside of the household. I would say I mostly kind of went spirit for myself. And I think my dad's death had a lot to do with it as well because I was a teenager when he was killed. So uh, God only made sense to me or anything spiritual or religious. But I think as a young man, if I put myself in a young man's shoes, I can try to do that as much as I possibly can. And I've talked to my brother, and my mother did. He said he would find male guidance because the father wasn't there in church. But I think there are other places that a young man will probably go to find male guidance. And church is not always the best thing. Let's just keep it real.
Hmm.
Um, let's keep it a buck, as they say. And
Mhm.
because I've had some bad experiences with
Keep it a flight.
church, you know, and they're going to find any male adult that they can trust to give them some type of guidance into manhood, you know. But I do think, sometimes spirituality is where you can go find that. And like he said, knowledge, reading books. If that's an option, that's the important thing, knowing that that is an option. And I think that was the benefit of my exposure to New York City too, because New York back in the day, they were big on knowledge. That's one of the pillars of hip hop is knowledge of self and knowledge. And for those who didn't know, there's 5 pillars of hip hop, not just 4. But respect, I land with that.
Peace to the gods on the earth. Reese says, my mom definitely didn't do her best. Real respect to you and your mamas. They try, and I appreciate y'all. As y'all was answering, it made me want to form another question, but y'all answered it perfectly. So it will let me say, because how y'all was answering, y'all would suggest that to males and females, correct? Both of y'all, both
Yes,
of what y'all
yes.
saying, could be suggested for both of them. So yeah, somebody that is confused about where they're growing up, dysfunction, or in a single parent house, or just doesn't have, just not doesn't know, and not, like you said, they may not know or how to admit or recognize, you feel me, or diagnose what is going on. They just know, something's not right. So from the information that y'all put, information that y'all just laid down, that is, some of the, mechanisms that you could use, you feel me, to at least start somewhere. You feel me? I would say. First question is, why do some men say dating? Well, hold on. Y'all want to take a little quick break, right quick? A little water
Okay.
break?
Okay. Water break it is.
A little quick water break.
Land Your Plane is a show where truth takes off and accountability lands. Guests face honest questions about love, loyalty, relationships, ego, family, and the conversations most people avoid. Want to be a guest or bring family on? If you have a story, unresolved conversation, relationship question, or truth you're ready to face, we want you on the show. Apply here. And somebody will get back to you or comment. Ready to land. Clear the runway.
Where you wanna be in your heart, we call that heart to heart. Mind game.
You are his supreme clientele. You are talking to Vanessa.
Betty Malcolm, I could be your rider. If you're the cannon, I could be Mariah.
Come in here and get a fresh haircut.
If you be the water, I can be the fire. I'm a guy, and you could be Messiah.
In other words, leave that in here. This is the person that you came in.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, shit, isn't it? Oh, man. Where we at? Oh. Question was, why do some men, this is like a two, well, nah. I got a couple questions to it. Why do some men why do some men say dating feels transactional? Dirt, we'll start with you.
I'm gonna say that's the people you're dating. If you're making a view of how dating is or isn't, you're making it based on experiences. You're not making it based on my experiences. You're probably making it based on your personal experiences. So I can see where you can break it down to that, but I think it's all about perception. Even though I can almost understand why somebody would even have that type of perception, I do think it's more or less about, again, who you're interacting with, because I've had girls pay for me to go eat. You know what I mean? I've had that I was dating. So if you're on the opposite of that, where you're always having to pay for the person to eat, I can see why you would be confused about what's the point of even dating that person or not. Is it transactional or not transactional? I think music definitely plays a part in the belief systems of what, like, I think it's funny how much, to me, music cultivates people's beliefs in dating or ideas of that. And I mean, and I'm not even talking about, I'm talking about even myself personally. Growing up, you couldn't tell me that it was fun unless the homies could get some. I thought it ain't no fun if the homies couldn't have none. Because no, I did think that. I believed that for a long time. Like, I grew up like that, because why would they record a whole song like that? You know what I mean? Like, If it, excuse me, if it's not real, you
Bless
feel
you.
me? Don't thank you, bless. And if it's not real, so I think that example that happened to me is happening to numerous people other than myself, where they're hearing songs, where they're hearing things, and they're thinking, "Oh, well, this is what a good date is. A good date should take me to the best restaurant. A good date should take pay this much money, yo." I watched these things on TikTok where the girl walks by the guy and then she tries not to talk to him. Then he has a fly car. I be thinking some of them are fake, but in general, I just think like it's just we live in a society where money is such a high thing on a lot of people's lists, and the idea of how you spend your money is another thing that's high on people's list, and people then gain value or feel like you valued them more when you're willing to spend money on them, opposed to the idea of, hey, just like we were talking about the other time on the other show about going on a date. How many people, when you say let's go on a date, are going to want to go on a date where it's no money spent? How many, or how many wouldn't? And again, like I said, you might find a bunch of people like that, but based on the people you're dating, when you're going out and they're saying you want where you want to eat, and they're saying, "Oh, I want to go to Roof Chris, or I want to go to the steakhouse. I don't want to go to just Applebee's. I want to go to a nice steakhouse." It's like, damn, all right, I'm paying for this. I'm paying for that. So when you feel like your whole dating process is based on how much money you spend or don't spend, I can see how you feel like dating is a transactional thing, but I don't think that's for everybody. I think it's a very personal experience, and I'll land with that.
Respectfully.
And,
Go ahead,
and
V.
well, I can understand. I'm hoping I'm trying to straighten out these technical difficulties, but okay, just bear with me. Um, but
Just a
I
little
think,
turbulent.
can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. Uh, there's this thing called propaganda, and there's a lot of propaganda gets pushed, like he mentioned, music influencing, people and what is, to be or what I want, influences a person's value system per se. Let me use that word. And since the onset of this thing we call pop culture, which is really about marketing, it has taken precedence with each generation has gotten more superficial than the previous generation, then especially since the invention of a television. And media plays a certain role on our psyche. And so, and then you add feminism and the sexual revolution into the mix, and it's going to displace organic values. Just a man, to me, a real man, a man that's crossed over into manhood, someone who's taken control of himself and grew into being a man. He tends to be an organic giver. And so for him to want to take you out to a nice dinner is really, it's for women to even make it about that they're missing out. You're missing out on like why a man would take you out to a nice dinner, because he's trying to discover your value. And so he's trying to create an atmosphere just like any other animal in nature would, to figure out, okay, is this person a potential, and you're losing sight of an opportunity to really get to connect with a person because you're making it transactional. And because to me, feminism played a big role in why dating has become transactional more than just a connection. Let me see who you are. What are your values? What are your dreams? What are your goals? And now it's about, okay, what you got? I got the PUSSY. You got the MONEY. Let's get together sometime. and and there's no heart in it. Whereas previous decades it was all about all even the music. The music was all about making love, and now the music is just straight up like porn. It's all about just really shallow. And I
That's
think
because all they wanted to do is make love, and look what they gave birth to, a bunch of horny ass. Yeah,
So
we out front with it. We not trying to, talk your panties off. We listen. Let's get it going.
so I learned with that. I think that the influence of pop culture and media has changed the dynamics over traditional values. Nowadays, that if you listen to your parents and your grandparents and your great grandparents, if they're still around, they're telling you you're old fashioned and not to listen to them. But I've heard it so many times on different podcasts, and social media that men have had expressed that how many women want an old school man, one who's going to come in, take care of them, pay the bills, but they don't want to be their great grandmother. They don't want to, be the kind of woman that inspires a man to be that kind of man. So it's a dilemma. It's a dilemma, and I land with that.
Respectfully. Why do some men see dating as transactional? I think Kevin Samuel said it is transactional. You feel me? It's not an actual like payment plan or a payment that has to go through, but there is something that you feel me. Male and female are going to have to come on an agreement on. You feel me?
Hmm.
Overall, with men, it's about treatment. Doesn't matter the race. Doesn't matter. You feel me? It's about how we're being treated and what treatment we to the level what we deserve and what we want for ourselves.
Hmm.
So some see it as you know brothers going outside their race as you feel me take going the easy route, but it's not going the easy route. Like she said, most people most brothers will preserve a black or white people stay in preserve, but they go outside the races because or they go to find love where love is overall for just treatment. You feel me? Is what I would say. Because you've got, money,
But
status, and resources over personality and loyalty. You dig?
do you
And
think Black women are not capable of that anymore?
say that again.
Do you think Black women are we're not capable of? Do you think we've lost something in how we treat men?
No,
Okay.
you you've set the standard for what you feel me
Hmm.
for what he how what he demands. If you could pay your way, then usually you could have your way. That's how it is. And that's across the board. That's what the kings, that's what the queen, that's what the you feel me, the king and the queen, that's go down all the way down to the servant. It's how you could, run your shit, basically at the end of the day. It's not I don't think it's a thing that women can't do or haven't done. It's just like I said, at the end of the day, I would say like you said, back in the day there was a lot of love songs and there was more, I would say, commitment than today. Today we
Hmm.
don't have that. That's a little bit lost to where it was unconditional. Today the reason why it's transactional is because there's so much conditions in play to you feel me? Like you got this almost taps into the next question, but you've got the swiping. It made people disposable. It made people look like products. You can go right on the app right now and you feel me? Swipe, swipe,
Hmm.
swipe, 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 swipe. And it doesn't you feel me? Like you say, the connection, the actual connection that people have to take the time to get with how dating is and how everything is, like I said, we've transformed it into what it is today. We actually, we promote ourselves how the market and the market speaks. You dig? Type shit. Another question I had attached to that, I'll land with that, was this is this is a man question, but you can answer V if you want. How can men stand out on dating apps when male profiles outnumber the female profiles?
How can men stand out on dating apps?
Yeah, that's the dirt. But you can answer.
Okay, I'll wait for dirt.
I mean, I was gonna let her go first because she already started. Let her go first. She can go first. This
Yeah,
week, I think it
she
makes.
gotta really should respond because it's a
Yeah,
certain way.
she knows she's a woman who possibly been on a dating app. What makes men stand out?
No, I know. That's why I
I'm
said I
only
would want to
talking
get
from
your take
niggas.
first and get
I
her
don't.
take. Go ahead. Whoever, my bad. Go ahead. Whoever got first to jump out. No
I
pressure, no.
can't tell you how to stand out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you how to fit in.
You have to. I'm not a big fan of dating apps, and I have tried them, and that's why I'm not a big fan because I don't like just the swipe, swipe, swipe. But when I have been on dating apps, you have to put your style. Like I was just talking to a friend earlier about the trend, the sophisticated dapper man is really, in all this top, like the silver foxes and all that kind of stuff. And so, because when a man has a little swag, it's all about the swag. It is, especially since you're not meeting him in person, so you can't sense that connection. So you're only going by really just your eyes. There's no other senses, physical senses you can use to fill this person out. I mean, you can read his profile. So, so now you're going with the eyes and maybe giving it some type of thought, but you can't still sense them. So it's all about the swag. It is completely about the swag when a
When
man
you
is putting
see
his
profiles,
profile.
it's about the off of the picture. Because look, the reason why I asked that question, it was the next question is a more of a female based question where it says what elements in a man's bio. So that's why I say to get down what you specifically what you look for, or what in general if you think what women look for is
I'm a different
swag.
kind of I when I if I was to read a guy's bio, I'm really at this stage of my life, I'm looking for values. What's important to him and what kind of things he wants to do and like to do. Because I literally have no time to try to force something that doesn't fit. And I've lived long enough to know that values are the thing that really makes the connection and makes the relationship um, sustainable. Because if it's just based on, even you can be fine as wine and got all of that, but if your values don't line up, it's not going to work. And
Okay.
sex is only after what they say, after the dopamine once wears off, then you be like, why am I in bed with you?
Mhm.
That's not going to sustain a relationship either.
Exactly. So, all right, if you could do three things, one is you say swag or the eyes. One is the eyes, two is swag, or
Swag,
swag is
swag.
one. What's another? What's two more things that you could add that you look for or you think women look for when looking on these profiles?
I think they look for his profession, you know,
Okay.
um, and what does he do for a living? Um, if you're over 40, you might see how many children he has or doesn't have, how many baby mamas you're going to have to deal with or not deal with.
All right.
So
So looking for swag, baby mamas, and money.
yes,
Okay.
and
Okay.
values. Don't forget values.
I mean, how can you see? Oh, you well. All right. So you can see what he values
Okay,
with pictures.
okay, yeah, you know,
So if he's got seven photos up there and four or five of them are something about his business or family oriented, can you tell off of that?
and if he's athletic, if he likes to work out, does he eat well? What are his hobbies? Those kind of things. Does he like to golf? Does he like to play basketball? Does he like to lift weights?
Respectfully. Oh yeah, yeah. That's and then the second part of that question. How does that instantly signal to a woman that he is genuinely ready for commitment. And these things right there is signal. You feel me? This guy's he's the one.
For women that I've conversed with and myself, we don't always have that immediate thing. I heard men do. Men like know right away that, that's what men have told me. But um women, it's not always a right away thing. There I've had men that I've connected with right away, and usually it's chemistry. Um, but I think I've, seeing someone online, you can't really tell if there's going to be chemistry. Because I've met people, I've had like long extended conversations with people that I've met through social media or something like that, and we hit it off great, talking on the phone or Zoom or what have you. And then you meet each other in person. It was like nothing. That kind of like weirded me out. That was it was so weird. Now they have a TV show about it. Comes on Oprah's own network. They have a whole TV show about it, about what happens when you first meet the person after you've been connected through dating apps and so forth.
It's crazy.
Especially if they catfish you.
Oh shit! If you viewing it, you got one. You got a story. Tap in. Come tell us. Let us know in the comments. Dirt. That's why I try to ask you that question first because
I still can answer it from my point of view. I can still go from me. I don't mind. What
Nah,
makes
yeah,
a person
respectfully.
what makes a person stand out? I would say for me personally, I would think I'm gonna start off with saying this. Even after I stop
Well,
smoking,
hold on.
let me
Start with three things, and then I got you can give your what you gonna say.
three things that
Three
make
things
it
that
stand
you
out.
think. Yeah.
I'm about to. I'm. That's what I'm starting with. Thank you.
All right. Okay. My bad.
I realize I should not go shopping when I'm hungry because I'll overshop. My eyes are bigger than my stomach. So I feel like in the same way, when you're desperately single, I don't think that's the best place. And when you come across as desperate, so never come across as desperately looking because it could be to me from what I've seen, I don't think people like that. People that are desperate, and um, I would also say be 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 overstanding that these people are talking to possible multiple people who have said the same shit over and over again. So you probably want to think of something different than just, hey, you want to come over because everybody said that. It's like I remember this girl was making a joke about how many guys asked her what you're doing today. How many times she seen WYD? Hey, what you doing? So I think that make sure your conversation is less small talky and it's not wrong with it. Don't have to be all the but less so dimensionally easy to replicate because everybody's saying the same shit.
Mm.
It's like so. I think that you should be thinking. You should consciously be thinking about that. Oh, and don't judge a person from their pictures or even their bio. Just have a conversation with them and get to know them through that. Opposed to trying because some people like I had a joke I used to tell on stage about
But
it. You got
what if, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no go Venus go.
What's going to attract you? Okay. Like if you're sitting, you're just swiping, what's going to catch? What do you think is going
No,
to catch?
I'm not saying don't hit the like button because they look good, but I'm saying just because somebody's sitting with their titties out, don't
Oh, okay.
you know what I mean? You think, oh, she wants to get titty fucked. That's why she's sitting like that. No, She just thought that was a good picture. She's not. She's not. She's not.
Well, she's
Oh, you see her bend over in the picture, or she got her butt around towards the picture. You like, oh, she want me to smack that ass. No, that's what I mean when I say though. You can click the like, but and you can appreciate what they look like, but don't think you know them from what you've seen in the picture. Oh, I know. Oh, she's a freak. She got her tongue ring out. She ready to suck something. I know what she about. No, she just thought she looked cute in that picture. That's why she posted it. So I would say, and then also, based on the world we live in, another reason is
You gotta tell them about the thirst. Sometimes they be thirst trapping.
yeah, they be thirst
That's a
trapping.
real
They
thing.
will get you. They get you on purpose. Also, at the same time, I would say that a lot of people look better. That's what I'm saying. Don't just judge a person from the pictures. Get to know them. Use it as a guideline. But a lot of people look better in pictures than they do in person.
mm-hmm.
With
Like,
the filters,
yeah, the filters,
they done filter themselves out to where
the
now when you see
angle.
them in
No, it's
person, you don't recognize
like
them.
what that nigga Drake said. Hit the angles. Like it's all right. Hit the angles. They hitting angles like a fourth grade math teacher. They hitting the acute angles. Oh, they know all the angles and they know exactly how to hold the phone, exactly where to put it at. They done learned. They done see how many likes that one picture got from when they held the phone at a 170-degree angle. So and they got more likes from a picture that was at a 147 angle. So that's where they arm automatically go into that angle. They know what to do and they know what light and what filter to use and all those things. So when you thinking, you like, oh damn, this shorty look good. She, and I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying don't allow that to be the guidelines of your judgment of the relationship. You know what I mean? Oh, most use filters so they get attention on their pictures and angles, laugh them off. They don't want you to see that body. It could be that. I don't know. It could be that.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of different reasons. Sometimes she said sometimes natural beauty is better. So yeah, I would say those would be my
Of course,
things.
natural beauty. That's what everybody wants. However, it's we gotta look, but that's when we would say in role playing and certain things that you do inside your relationship that spice it up and make it fun for yours, to where nobody has to go outside that. However, man's gonna be a man, and you feel me?
Honestly, and this is off topic, on topic. I'm gonna say that originally that I feel like that's the reason with online dating.
What's
Is
that?
that a person sees a person and they're attracted to that person, and then they meet you and you're not that fucking person. You're not
That's what
even
I
who they
just said.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're not even who they thought they was meeting. And then they meet you and yeah, they might feel like you like, but you're not you're already a disappointment based on what I've seen. Like the person I see in the pictures was always smiling. They smile all day long. You have manic depression. Why didn't you express that? You know what I mean? You're bipolar. I didn't even know that. I seen you always smiling and dancing on the fucking thing. You was always doing this all the time, smiling, having a good time. I didn't know you had these issues. You're schizophrenic? What are you talking about? I didn't know that.
Oh my
Where did
God.
that come from? So like
That's deep.
people are presenting the image besides even the beauty of it, but just this happy. Most people are posting themselves smiling. They're not, it's rare people are posting themselves crying. Not to say that would be the best thing to post, but it's like that's who a person is seeing and liking this image that you're presenting. And then they see that and they think that's who they're going to get. And then the reality of life is you're probably way more diverse than that, which makes sense. But however, that's what I was looking at and thought was attractive. The person who was happy and smiling. But then when you get around the person, it's like, oh shit, you got all these other things going on. So but I would say for yourself as a guy, try to be original with your dialogue, because again, like I said, it's copy and paste. Second, I think I said what? Realize that
Don't be desperate.
don't be desperate. That was the first I said, but yeah, either way, don't be desperate. It should not be a desperate thing, because some people on there. I realize some people are on there just for conversation. Really, they just want to talk to people. They already know about how much of a disappointment they are in person. They already know. They've already disappointed enough people to know that in person, I'm a disappointment. So they don't want to meet you in person. They just want to talk to you online, and they'll talk to you all day long online.
And that's a fantasy.
Catfishing at its finest.
Yeah. So I feel like essentially you don't want to go into there so desperate, like you're about to find your love of your life online. To me, it should just be a recreational situation until you actually meet the person, and you shouldn't be so thirsty for access for pictures. If they don't want to send you pictures, there should be enough online. Just don't come off thirsty, because even in the desert, somebody's going to be like, well, why'd you even go to the desert if you didn't bring enough water? So you don't want to never come off desperate and thirsty. And the last one was don't take it too serious. Be very conscious about what you're paying attention to and what you're connecting to when you're doing it. I think and that also leads to you not being desperate, and I think that should help you as far as your appealingness to the opposite sex. Hopefully, if I can give any tips.
Next question, just a little bit more towards the women. When y'all watch this back, I can always give y'all comments in the comment section. Definitely duly needed. V, why do some women, and you can answer the dirt right after her. Why do some women say emotionally available men seem boring?
That's a very unfortunate thing. Um, because emotionally available men are available. So there is no to probably say it. I prefer emotionally available men. That's just me. I've dealt with the other side of the coin, and they are not really looking for something serious if they don't want an emotionally available man. And I don't think emotionally available may be the right word. Maybe they mean emotionally needy men. There's a difference between an emotionally available man and an emotionally needy man. Like a needy man is a major turnoff. And I think I would think it might be the same for men as well, right? Is an overly needy woman a turnoff?
I'm about to say,
You
can you give
know,
an example? Yeah, I would say,
um,
yeah, that's
like
Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
it's like okay, I have. Oh my gosh. I had a couple guys that even till this day, and I don't like to be rude or anything like that. I always try to be considerate of other people's feelings. Sometimes you just gotta be rude though, and just cut them off. But cut a man off. But they'll do things like, oh, you're such a queen. You're so beautiful. And it's wonderful, like it's when a man calls you a queen, and he gives you like wonderful compliments, but it's the way he's saying it, like he said earlier, coming across as desperate, and it's not often coming from a sincere place. It's like it's almost like he's trying to prove something to you, so he's going to build you up, 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 and it's not genuine, it's disingenuine. It's calling me queen once a day, okay, that's beautiful, but calling me queen 100 times a day is something disingenuine about it, if it's not coming from a place of you really caring that how I feel about me. It's more about how you want me to see you. Does that make sense?
I feel you. Calling you a queen 100
I'm just
times a
using that
day.
as but
And then
it's not
picking
like
fights with you. It's not no.
no, it's different. I'm trying to give an example. Okay, maybe that's not a good example. Like God, and I can see these kind of guys right in my head. I've encountered them. They're great guys. They're usually really, really, really nice. They're usually very nice guys, and they may come across as even nerdy. Okay, and so they often may not have a lot of swag, and so they come across as needy, very
Okay,
needy.
gotcha.
That's what I
Okay.
said though, right, V? Did I say that?
Yes,
I
yes,
said
you did.
don't go shopping when you're hungry because you're gonna be
Yes,
my
yes.
bad. Yeah, I was like, yeah, see, I said that.
It is not attractive. Emotionally available men are attractive. That's what you want. You don't want an emotionally needy man, but you do want an emotionally available man. Because
Respectful.
if a man is not emotionally invested in you, you don't have him. He's just not there. You have a male. He comes by, he may want to have sex with you, but if he's not emotionally invested in you, that's you don't have him. And that's an emotionally available man as opposed to emotionally needy man. And I land with that.
Respectful. There any comments, responses, rebuttals, questions?
um, I would say I feel like she hit it on the nail. I just think that women say they want emotionally available men or men that are emotionally available because they just a lot of them are emotional based and they want somebody to be able to relate with and relation is attractive. So I feel like yeah, that makes sense. Uh for me personally, I've always heard a thing of how I wasn't emotional, I am emotional, or not emotional, but it's because I don't cry enough. So that's like it's not even like it's like laughter is an emotion. But you'll say I have no emotions because I'm not crying enough. You want somebody to cry with you. And then it's like, I don't know. I just feel like to me personally, um, let things take their time. When do you want a man to be emotionally available? When should they be emotionally available? How should they meet you and be emotionally available the same day? Like it's like almost they get a woman to get mad if you want to fuck on the first day, but you want me to be emotionally available on the first day. So I would say just let things take their course the same way you should expect somebody else to want that to take their course. So that way you can know, you know, if they could actually be emotionally available or not. I don't think somebody should be emotionally available the first time they meet you. That to me seems like
I
does
agree.
does seem desperate. So I would say give the person time to judge them and let them know that that you have a place that is safe for them to be emotionally available, so they can possibly display up different emotions because they probably already been hurt or whatever. And I'm not blaming you, and they shouldn't blame you, but I'm sure they probably been emotional before, and it might have backfired. That could definitely lead to some inability to be able to display the emotion, I should say, not the emotions. But
Mhm.
I would say, yeah, just give it time, especially if you're internet dating or whatever. Even if you're not internet dating, I feel like even if you're dating somebody now, just give it fucking time. Like, what's the rush? If you die tomorrow, it won't mean nothing anyway. So it's like people want things to happen much faster than I think they should. And that's why you got people like having kids with people they only been dating for 3 months. It's like you've been dating for 3 months. How the fuck do you know this person's a good enough parent to be for the next 18 years? How do you know that? So it's like, yeah, I
You
just feel
don't.
like,
You don't.
like you don't know this person. You just met them. So I would say
Yeah,
just give it time. And I think that because I feel like because women are mostly pursued at such a high level, it could create a confusion of time because it's like I don't have to take time to get to know this nigga or take time to spend time. I don't have to do none of that. I got another nigga that want me anyway. I'm gonna go over there. Like I'm done with this situation. I'm gonna go see what's going on with this situation. So I feel like, yeah, I just think that you should put some value and idea of what that means, and just get the person time to maybe let that wall down if you really care about them, or if you want them to even really care about you, or if you want more than just to be a person somebody fucked. You know what I mean? I think
That's
it's
why
to
you
give it
want a
time.
man emotionally available because you want to be more than a jump off.
However, I would say, like I just said, give it time.
Yeah,
If the is
yeah.
it you don't. I'm not saying you have to fuck them before you find out they're emotionally available or not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying give it time. And if you do fuck them before that, then whatever. But still, I think you should still give the person time. And also, like I said, what is emotionally like? That's why well, whatever we talked about that game. But what is emotionally available? What the fuck does that even mean? Because if I'm laughing at jokes, am I not emotionally available by laughing? Laughter is an emotion. How am I not
Okay,
being a how am I not being emotionally available if I'm laughing? What do you
that's
want
it's
me?
not quite the same thing.
What do you? So yeah, tell me real quick so I can know what do I need to do to be emotionally available? If what?
Emotional. When I hear emotional availability, I I hear able to take in your emotions without it affecting my emotions. And what I mean by that is, if somebody, it's almost like what you said. Just because somebody does something to you personally, it doesn't mean that you have to take it personal. That's what I assume it to be when somebody says I'm emotionally available. Meaning you could come to me, tell me what your issue is with me, what I am doing wrong without me getting upset or, just going over the deep end and either with anger or depression. That's what I feel like. That's what it means to me to be emotionally available. Like we
No,
are both,
no.
you don't know?
I'm not saying not in the content of this conversation.
Yeah.
And so when a woman is saying what she wants a man to be emotionally available, because there are different dynamics of how men and women relate to each other, and they're just different levels. Okay. So when you're just a jump off, you're not usually the man is not, he's not into you. So that's what it means to not be emotionally available because he's just not into you. Like he doesn't care about you as a human being. You're just a jump off. And so you're just another notch on his belt or a little prick on his head post or whatever. And so for a man to be emotionally available means he's investing in you. He's taking time, like he cares about you. He cares how,
But
and
that's a
that's the
different. That's when it becomes two words. Caring and emotions are two different actions. They're two different things.
but it means to be emotionally available. To care about someone is an emotion, so like if as a I'm just saying from a female
He cares
perspective.
enough whether
Yeah.
if he's having
I'm
unprotected or
I'm
protected sex, he's caring. Whether he what they
I'm
do
picking up
after is different, but emotion
I'm
available. The king cared about his queen, and he cared about them concubines too, and all the
okay.
mistresses, and the queen knew this. She feel me. She didn't feel unloved. She didn't think that he wasn't
I'm
emotionally
just
available.
it's just shocking to me because I'm finding out in real time that both of y'all loved Heather Parmentier. I didn't know that y'all was emotionally available for her.
Oh my
Or
god.
Anisha Ritter and them people like that who were jump offs. I didn't know. So don't try to act like y'all don't understand or picking up what she's putting down. She said a lot. Like, if you're a whore, I can't even make myself emotionally available to you because of the fact of embarrassment, for lack of a better word. I can't force myself to care about you type situation. So we've all ran in with, you know, whores, for lack of a better word, promiscuous women. You feel what I'm saying? And we wasn't quote unquote emotionally available for them. Like if a woman, a low morale woman, came up to you and was like, oh, and crying, I don't know what to do, everybody's calling me a whore, and you feel me, none of us, let me talk about me, I wouldn't have it in my heart to give a damn, personally. So yeah, I would be emotionally unavailable to that person, because stop being a whore and find you a man that likes whores, and he'll cry with you.
You know what? Can I cut in real quick? Let me just say this. Pause.
Oh
I'm
gosh.
gonna say that I think that you touched on it earlier. Pause. That the problem is the people you want a certain treatment, not you, but women want a certain treatment that doesn't go like this idea of being a whore, but then you want to be treated like you said, like grandma. Like if somebody's treated like he kind of touched on a little bit, pause, but he just said it. If somebody sees you as a whore, it's probably because you have demonstrated or give them a whorish behavior to them in their mind, at least from me personally. So it's not that you just being mischaracterized, is that the behavior represents that. It's like I've seen now you got people like, yo, I see people that got 5 kids talk about they're going celibate now. And to, like, bitch, you already fucked 5 different people at least, or maybe not, or whatever. You had 5 kids. This is not the time to be on your like the Virgin Mary. This is not working now.
It's a little too
Absolutely.
You're
late, right?
yeah, and that's what it comes down. It's like, and it's not just about fucking or not. Like, you know what? I think I said this before too, but people don't realize it's not just about fucking or not fucking. It's knowing that the only thing stopping you, because you know what? I'm gonna tell you this right here. I'm gonna tell you the stupidest shit I ever heard. And I'm like, when a woman says to you, I want to fuck you, but I don't want you to look at me like a whore. That means to me, even if you don't fuck me that night, you still a whore. That doesn't mean that, oh, you're better than that because you didn't fuck me that night. You saying you wanted to fuck me too. You saying you wanted to, but you didn't want. You just was afraid of how I would view you. So that's not saying you wouldn't do it. That's like saying I would suck a dick, but I don't want nobody to think I'm gay. Bitch, you fucking gay.
Faggot.
That's like you're a fucking whore.
Hey,
That's the
hey,
reality.
we got to
Not
watch those words. We
my
are on
bad, not you.
YouTube.
My bad,
He
my
said the
bad.
F word. We got because
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah, my
will
bad. I'm just
cut
giving
us
an
off.
example. My bad. I'm just giving an example of, yeah, like the idea of that. Like if you're you should be, if you want certain belief systems of people to believe in you or come into a certain way, you should genuinely be that person. Somebody can tell when you're faking and just only behave in a certain way to get a result, which is funny because men do the same thing, but women do the same thing too. They're behaving a certain way to hopefully be viewed a certain way and get a certain reaction. But the reality of life, like any other time, basically the true you will shine through. Somebody's going to see the reality. And when they see that, they're not, all right, I'm, oh, word? Damn, she got a lot of dude friends on her phone. Everybody's her friend. I wonder what they was doing. Oh, she's a little too nasty. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm not even making an exaggeration. I got head from this girl one time and I said, damn, this girl is a professional. There's no way, like, cause Michael Jordan only learned how to dunk the ball from practicing. He didn't just come out the womb dunking the ball. You know, so she had to practice at this a lot to be this fucking good at this. So her being this good at this to me was a sign that, damn, this girl is really she's been nasty mad long. Even though she waited for whatever amount of time to do it, when she finally did do it, I was like, oh, she is too good. I cannot be fucked. I can't be making out with this girl. I don't want to be kissing her. I don't want to. She's done this too much. So it's like you have to just be willing to be judged or accepted for who you are, the same way you would want to judge and accept somebody for who they are. And I'm a land with that.
I think V, you touched on it earlier. You said that the male has to conquer his lower self, his sacral chakra, his beast nature. So I think that yes, there is different levels of expressing. Like you said, female expresses her emotions different than the male would express his emotions. Caring, loving one for one another is different levels of the expression. However, um, I would say they mistake the boring and the lack of excitement because one, I would say, comes from, well, that was that the note to add what you was talking about, but to get to the question was they they see boring as a lack of excitement for what's that? Oh, because they come from chaos and drama.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So yes, because like you said before on a previous show, I think, to maintain peace, it takes a lot of work. So somebody coming from chaos where it's easy to access and easy to be around, and there's so much going on that it doesn't really take much to get involved. But you feel me? Drop of a dime to come to somebody where you gotta, wake up, do a garden, eat healthy, work out, exercise, clean the crib, do certain things that require responsibilities. Yes, that's gonna seem bored coming from, you feel me, on TikTok or online all day, coming from hearing, tea between your girlfriends, or them going through, they going through, dealing with certain shit that we deal with, people deal with in the society or inner city type shit versus the, suburbs or wherever people find peace, I would say. So that's what they confuse it. Sig, you came in on the question. The question was, why do some men no, my bad. Why do some women say emotionally available men seem boring? That's where you came in on it. If you want to answer.
Is the I call it the Fonzie treatment.
Hey.
If if you I don't want to be I call it the Fonzie treatment because if you ever watch Happy Days, Fonzie had like a carefree type of mentality. A woman doesn't want a man that cares about her too much. It becomes boring. Nigga, go get a life. Go find something to do with yourself. why are you, why are
Oh, I
you
like
always
you.
why are you always here? What they say? Let me miss you, nigga. Damn. Every time I turn around, you hear with open arms. Damn, you ain't got nothing else to do. You feel me? Like I could do bad by myself. You want to be up under me all day, every day? It get boring. Like, and if you're around each other all the time, it ain't even nothing to talk about no more. So the conversations is dull. The reaction is dull from hearing somebody talk about the same thing all the time. It just
Gotta go.
becomes boring. I'm just speaking off of reality. Like you go do something, go get away, go. You know what I mean? I'm always here for you. Yeah, that shit sounds good. You feel me in the songs and R&B songs, 90 R&B songs. That's a wonderful thing to say. Always be here for you. But in all naturality, they don't want you always there for them type situation. It's just reality. It's a diss song, not a real song. And I'll land with that.
Can I add something to that?
Yes, ma'am.
The funny thing about Fonzie, and that is, even though it was a 1970s sitcom about teenagers in the 1950s, and so that was like 75 years ago, um, in terms of the social commentary. And I say that because it's how relevant 75, almost 100 years later, that the dynamic of being cool is still relevant. Now, it's true, the girls found Fonzie cool over Richie Cunningham, and Potsy and the other guy. I forget the other guy's name, but because but there is a different thing about that. Yeah, the girl Fonzie came across as he confident, so being confident is always attractive. And but the only thing is that those men are very rarely loyal to one woman. But it begins to be this, how can I control him? And, and so that's not healthy, actually, because most of those men are not, they're usually not going to be with one woman. It's very rare. I'm not saying that they can't. They may find that woman, like Brad Pitt in Legends of the Fall. He finally found that one woman he was ready to settle down with. But um, those guys are usually don't settle down, and they're usually not emotionally available. And but I will say this, and this is a little secret I'm giving away. Most women are looking for their orgasm, and
I'm
you
glad you
know
said it because then that's what I'm trying to tell you. That men and women express emotions differently. I know that there is there's chakras and there's levels that he has to rise up into his higher enlightened self, but he still is expressing emotion with his dick, with his phallus. You feel me? And yes, like you said, yeah, women want orgasm too. They want just as bad as men too. So they have both the emotion, this caring and this feeling, and certain adornment in relationship because he got with a whore and queen and wife and stripper. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's both. That's all just levels in the fog. And no, men express emotion through phallus. You heard? That's what I was trying to get to. So I'm glad you said that just to add to what you were saying.
okay, thank you for that little a little bit of education there.
Don't call it little education.
Oh, that's right. Wait, this is the BBC education. I forgot who I was talking to.
Yeah, please. No, no, this is not little education.
Oh
Oh,
gosh, you guys are so
oh.
hilarious. So hilarious.
My bad to
Uh,
cut your wisdom, but yeah, you said you was saying your little secret.
That is the secret, because a lot of women, especially, it depends. There are different levels. Okay, you have archetypes, let's say that. And like you say, you have the woman who's promiscuous, you have the good girl, you have the church girl, you have the wifey, you have different archetypes. But across the board, all of us want to have an orgasm. And
Mm-hmm.
so um a female orgasm is very different, especially for a woman who's wifey material and a good girl kind of girl. Um, she really, it's almost like she's afraid to admit that she's looking for her orgasm. And if she was raised religiously, she's almost like, shh, like, I really want to have an orgasm, but I don't want nobody to know, you know? And so the guy who's cool, the guy who has that fire, he always seems to be the one. They always say good girls love bad boys. My mother grew to love a bad boy. My father was a bad boy. I used to like bad boys, because they have that fire. They got that, And when I was younger, guys from New York, oh my gosh, if you traveled south and you told the girls you were from New York, you were
I,
treated like a king, you know. It's like he's from New York. Oh my gosh, he's from the big city, you know.
I could
It
I could
was
relate.
like, yes, yeah, it was just this thing, you know, of the bad boy having that. You feel like he knows something, like he's going to be good, he's going to help you reach those heights, you know. But he can do it sexually, and most of the time he's pretty good in bed. But oftentimes he is not, as we said, emotionally available. I don't think Fonzie probably was not emotionally available, you know.
You know why though? Because to be good at anything, like I said before, it takes practice. So you're meeting this person who knows how to fuck because they've been fucking, and now you're saying no. It's like it's not like you're gonna meet this guy who's only been reading. He just read a bunch of books on how to fuck, so he's nice at it. Nah, he's been practicing. He's been practicing how to dunk the ball, and now you're like, just dunk the ball over here in this hoop. Now it's like, no, nigga, I need to travel. I'm fucking. I'm a Harlem Globe Trotter. You don't hear the word Globe Trotter. So it's like I think that's the issue that you got a person who you feel like is good at something, yeah, that you now want to centralize their performance, opposed to going, all right, you're good at this because you've been doing it. All right, I'm big on. I think polygamy, as far as is a big thing, and it makes sense to me as far as like a lot of different things. And I just feel like, yeah, you should be, instead of trying to just lock that person in, possibly you should be willing to see what that person wants to do. If that person is opposite of that and they want to just be monogamous, then get that, but if not. But I feel like it is all conversations and having open conversations with people, because it feels like people just are not willing to have open conversations. And I think, yeah, that's the thing. That's the funny part. Like you said, oh, they're so good. He made me. You're not the first person he made orgasm, and yeah, he learned that somewhere else. He didn't just learn it from his ex. He's been out here practicing. That's how he got to get where he's at. You know what I mean? And now I know he's not going to be Iverson. He's not going to just say fuck practice. He's going to keep thinking he should keep practicing. So I'll land with that.
I don't know what he talk about. I was born like this.
Oh man, that's hilarious. You're right. You
I
got me.
woke I woke up like this.
I was getting ready to say, I woke up like he took the words right out my
Yeah,
mouth.
he got me that one. I ain't gonna hold you.
Do a quick commercial birthday, right? Quick dick. Who we got here? Who we got? Hardcover, paperback, and Kindle. Available now on Amazon. His secrets weren't just lies. They were debts, dangerous ones. She was just a housewife. Routine, love, family, peace. Now, she has a choice. Break or become something else. The God Lady. Story of power, sacrifice, and the price of loyalty. She didn't choose the game chose her.
This book is dangerous, not because it tells you what to think, but because it shows you who's been thinking for you. It exposes the illusion, the script, the invisible leash. After Cosmiscuous, you won't hear music the same. You won't see mirrors the same. You won't even see yourself the same. Warning. Side effects include awareness, freedom, and irreversible growth. Cosmiscuous. Read at your own awakening.
You know what that means?
Shit. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I got a couple more. You know, we're hitting that 2 hour mark. We about to land, so I know we've been chatting and chatting. Got a couple more, but you know, do men and women define loyalty differently?
I would think yes.
Do you want to define it and then explain why?
Um, maybe loyalty is not the same word, but faithful, faithful. Maybe that's, would that be in the same ballpark area, you think?
If that's how you define it, we can't. You feel me?
Well, I
We
mean,
can't define it for you, but that's where we're trying to get the understanding from. You're gonna define it. I'm gonna define it. Other gentleman is gonna define it, and then we're gonna talk about it.
I think that, you know, these days it's finding loyalty, like Jim would say. Where's Jim? Speaking of loyalty, um, it is hard to find people, men or women in general, even in friendships, to be really loyal. I'm a very loyal person, almost to a fault. And but when it comes to loyalty in a relationship, men tend to have more of a reputation of stepping out, even though these days women, because of feminism, women have taken on a lot of masculine characteristics. So
Mhm.
so they're stepping out just as much as men are these days, from what but I've had men explain to me that even if they step out, it doesn't mean they're being disloyal. And so, which I didn't understand for years. I did not get it until I think I spoke about it on a previous episode, till the brother explained to me, what is it called? Post nut or whatever.
Clarity.
Personal clarity.
Yeah, yes. And he really broke it down to me and helped me to understand. And then it actually was like, wow, so there's a level of having to really be self-controlled as a man. And if you don't have that self-control, then that testosterone will take over. And even though he's sleeping with another woman, it doesn't mean he love her, is what he was saying to me. Now, women, we don't want to hear that. We do not want to hear that caca. If you're in bed with another woman, you're being disloyal or slash unfaithful to our relationship. So I think we do define it differently. Yes, I think we do. And I just saw a post of the girl. It's one of the classic. She was in bed. He was in bed with another woman, and she walks in, and it's the classic. Baby, I was just effing her, but I make love to you. You know. And I know there are men that actually, they really do see it differently. They really, really do. But as women, we find that being unfaithful or disloyal to the relationship, in terms of that dynamic of the relationship. Now, there's other aspects of loyalty, like, maybe it's keeping the house intact. Maybe it's paying all the bills. Maybe it's making sure you're taken care of. And even if I go sleep with another woman, I'm making sure you're taken care of. So some men may call that loyalty. And some women may say, okay, I'm being taken care of. What I don't know don't won't hurt me. Just keep me taken care of and come home at 9 o'clock every night, regardless of what you do. And we can, so, but I do think we do define it differently, and I land the plane with that.
Respectfully, respectfully, fellas. Do we define it differently?
Uh, I would say definitely. I agree with what she said as far as like the idea of it. To me, like it's like I always thought about like if I when I was locked up. You know what I'm saying? When I was locked up, I wasn't the guy who cared what the girl was doing when I was locked up. Long as she was putting money on my books, long as she was still visiting me or writing me still, that's what I cared about. I didn't care about whether somebody was over there fucking her or something like that. Um, I think, yeah, for me, loyalty is more about how you treat me opposed to whatever else you're even doing and not doing. It's more about how you're treating me and whether you're treating me because I feel like if I'm treating you a certain way, it's based on your actions. It's not based on my view of anybody else or anything like that. So I feel like to me, That's what I would want. Almost like what she was saying before too about like to me is like you can look at somebody who you say is sleeping with somebody else as them being disloyal to you, but it's like is the rent being paid? Is there other things being paid? Is there other things being that's happening for you that probably is not that's definitely unless a nigga's paying two rents. You know what I mean? He paying her rent and your rent. That's I might be awkward. You know what I mean? But I would say that one person in a relationship is probably getting more of something from a person who probably means more than that person than it does. You know what I mean? To you or them or whatever. So I think yeah, my idea of loyalty is definitely less about whether somebody's chatting or talking or whatever else is going on. It's more about what they're doing for me and why they're doing it and letting like are they just doing that for everybody, you know? And like I think I talked about that. We talked about that on the show before too. Like if you meet somebody new, how are you treating that person special or not treating them special? Opposed if you're just doing the same thing you've done for everybody else for that person. And I'll land with that.
You shouldn't have took off with that respectfully.
Oh my god.
I respect your opinion, though. You my guy.
Thank you.
Cass said, do we define it differently?
Define what differently exactly?
Loyalty. Loyalty.
I think the definition of the word is the definition of the word. But
I got a definition here. You want me to read it?
you can, but I don't need it to go with my opinion.
Go ahead, jump out.
Are we talking about just in committed relationships with women?
We talking about just men and women, period, man. How we define it. You heard what V said. You heard what Dirt said. How do you define it?
I look at loyalty is being exactly what I expect you to be. That's that's as simple as I could put it. Because the person that I expect you to be, you're the person that I trusted to do whatever I entrusted you with. Now, when you step outside of that circle, you're no longer loyal to me or to my impression of you. When you, because I wouldn't have asked you to do it or thought that it was in you if it wasn't presented. I try not to ask people to be something they are not. I just ask you to be exactly who you are at all times. So if I entrusted you with a certain situation or with my feelings in a certain way, then I expect you to do exactly what I thought you would do. That's my idea of loyalty. Expecting something of someone that's not in them, that's uh that's almost like a sense of control. So
Respectfully.
oh well,
Do we define it? How I define well, the definition here is loyalty is defined as an alliance, non-betrayal, and a defense. The manifestation, no, yeah, and a defense. What I got and how I define it is respect and support. Respect means don't violate. Support means you got my back through whatever. So that's how I define it. Can't speak for all men, but I would say out of top 5 or top 3, they would have those on those lists. You feel me?
Hmm.
And to sum up what you was talking about, could I say you would say women could say consistency and emotional security to sum up what you were saying? Or how would you define it? Or would that be misquoting you?
No, that's pretty much close to what I was saying. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hmm.
So they are different, but they're different because we're male and female. Male and female are different. And this is why we go throughout our life trying to, relate to one another or, stuff like that. So there's certain things that throughout the relationship that require that, but is work in the beginning, at the end of the day. Some other notes I took, but those are the main points that I wanted to hit as far as how I define it and, you know, what, how, yeah, I wanted to get everybody's thoughts on that. I think that we could do this. We could probably do this as the last one. It's getting hot in this bitch. This scenario. All right.
I was supposed to get off the phone like 30. But these conversations be so deep. I can never. I never want to get off the call.
Good job. Oh, damn it. How you control? Hold up.
And we yelling out, gang, gang.
Hold on.
Oh,
Oh, damn it.
damn
All
it.
right. I'm gonna just go to the question. This question is for the dude. V, you can answer too. What goes through a man's mind when a woman takes the initiative and makes the first move?
Jackpot. Oh, I thought I was muted.
Nah, go ahead. You go first.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I ain't have nothing else to say.
Jackpot.
Won't he
Best.
do it? Won't he do it? By the grace of God, the Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want. Miss Parker, Miss Parker. Nah, but yeah. In all naturality, the first thing you think is, well, the way you're gonna express it to the homies. Like we can get up here and lie, but the first thing when you express it to the homies, first thing you're gonna say is she was hot and ready. You know what I mean? Because the first thing that comes in your mind is not that you're special. Is the first thing that come in your mind is that she do that for everybody. So
She
I
give
mean,
everybody the phone number.
yeah, she do that for everybody. She's a whore. This slutty ass girl just walked up on me, asked me for my
Every,
number today.
is every girl that initiates the first move is a whore?
You asked me what was the first thoughts.
I'm
I
asking
didn't
you that
say
too.
no. Every girl that don't do that, but that's always going to be the initial thought, just as men,
Respectfully.
because it doesn't
Right.
happen. And we're taught that promiscuous women are whores. That's what we're taught. I mean, we're taught that at a young age. So, especially when you all your life, I mean, you had to put in some type of work in order to get some type of satisfaction when it just comes up to you easily. I mean, anything too easy ain't worth having. I mean,
Respectfully.
so that's the first thing. That's the first thing we think. we don't we don't be like, oh my gosh, she got to be a good girl, good God fearing woman to the woman that I'm gonna marry. That's not the first thing we think out of our. You know what I mean? Honestly
You
speaking.
speaking for yourself, huh?
Oh word, I know that's right. You know what I mean? I know how I know how y'all give it up. I know y'all personally.
No, you don't know how I give it up. You gotta wait till I go.
Look at
Dirt.
this. Ain't,
What's your
oh, I
thoughts?
don't.
Girl walks up to you, strikes up a conversation. After the conversation, talk a little bit. She just gives you the number. What's up?
Just gives me just the number.
She gives you her number. You ain't even asked for it, and she walked up to you.
I'm thinking like, oh, she must want to talk or she wants to get to know me
Oh,
better. I mean, she only gave me the number, huh? Damn, I see if she gave you some pussy you had the offer. I was different. He said she just gave me the number, so I said, all right, yeah, she must want to get to know me better. I'm not thinking in my mind anything else more than that. Now, if it's sexual, obviously I'm gonna be thinking different stuff. But if it's just a number, it just means that yeah,
Man, you know your conversation. So you're going to turn the conversation into what you want to turn it to. However, she strikes the conversation. You don't, you feel me? You don't initiate it. She initiates it with you. And you would end up and eventually end up getting the number. So
no, I
what is
don't, because I've got numbers of people I never fucked before. So I don't. It
really?
depends on. It depends. Yeah, I have. It depends on what. It
Okay.
depends. Everything else depends on what what was going on before that. Where did I meet her at? Where you know what I mean? If a girl was to approach me and just give my number or give me her number, like I said, and I'm just in Walmart minding my business, I'm gonna think, yeah, maybe she do want to do something, but that don't mean that it's definite, and I'm not gonna assume that. I'm gonna, like you said, I'm gonna take conversations and see what's going on. Then I'll know. All right, yeah, she do want to fuck or whatever. She's with it, but I think those are two different those are two different levels. If it's just a
Can I
number,
actually? Can I ask you something real quick? I ain't trying to be rude or
trying
nothing
to ask
like that.
Mega or me,
You, I just want to ask you a personal
no,
question.
you can't ask me nothing if I get the answer.
No, no, I'm dead serious. Right quick, right
I'm
quick.
serious. Also, I don't want to be
Oh,
answering no questions by you.
I just real one quick question because I
Why'd
feel
you
like
ask me? Can you ask me a question if that's not an actual thing I can answer?
I'm just saying that
So just
I've known you for 39 years.
you have not known me for 39 years.
Almost 40 years I've known you.
You have not known
Yes.
me for almost 40 years. You have not.
Can I just ask my question?
No, are you going to
You
start before you ask the question? Are you going to be honest? You have not known me that long.
okay,
yeah.
when did you acquire this stutter thing that you're doing?
When did I stutter?
Yeah, when did you acquire that? Because you're stuttering a lot.
Oh, I feel like I got allergies now. My nose is kind of stuffy right now, so I don't know
And
if
they
that's.
make you stutter.
I don't. Everybody allergies
Uh,
react differently to them. My allergies can
I
cause me to
just
stutter.
wanted to ask, I didn't know because I heard somebody say something about stuttering at one time.
You heard somebody say something that was relevant to
Uh,
somebody else.
that said something about stuttering. I can't remember how it went.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
think it was
So you can't
mystical
if you
and
can't remember how it goes, why you don't want to hear? You just said you can't remember, so if you can't remember, I don't want you. Yeah, yeah. See, I'm
stuttering.
sneezing.
Bless you. But yeah, go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
I can't. I don't. You know what? Like I said, if I fuck, I'm gonna feel different from getting a number. Are we? Let me ask you a question then. So you saying fucking is getting a number too? That's the same thing.
No, I'm talking about the initial reaction of a female walking up to you and saying, I want your number. And you're
No,
saying,
you know, not I want your number.
She gives me her number.
Yeah, you at the
even,
spot, you in the
even, in-
mall, you at wherever you at, and Shorty comes up to you. Like I said, my initial reaction is Shorties don't come up to me. So yeah, it is like what Sig said. Jackpot. She's on go because if she coming up to me,
yeah, but that's
she
just
you feel me?
what you're doing is being honest. You
Yeah.
know, some people don't possess that. Oh, I can't wait for the conversation and all of this, and I can't wait to talk. Those are my first initial reactions to it. Is like, oh my God, she wants to talk to me. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't wait to find somebody to talk to, and all of this other goofy stuff that he was saying about talking. Oh my God, yeah. People don't talk to me. I can't wait to get on the phone so we could talk. He's like, come on, son, please stop it.
V, question for you. What is the safest way? No, what is the safest and most confident way for women? Or no, do you what's your my bad, your answer to that? What do you think
Answer.
goes through a man's mind? Have you ever approached a man or initiated a conversation?
No, actually,
Every man always approached you.
I always used to feel myself to be very fortunate. You
Would
know,
you ever?
I probably would flirt. I'm very flirtatious,
Hmm.
so I think flirting is natural. And that back in the day, women used to drop their handkerchief, in front of the guy they're interested in to get him to notice her. So I think there's that dynamic. I remember having a conversation with one of my clients, and he was a white man, and that he said that in his experience, that black women were the best at flirting. And I was like, black women? And I said, I think white women are far more flirtatious than black women. And he said, no, white women are forward. And so he said, and a lot of men, especially men who make a certain amount of money, they don't always want forward women. So I think it's unique and different to each man and each person and each situation. And he said, but he could see his how appealing that would be to a black man. That's what he told me. That
Or
the forwardness, because and this is what he said. Okay, so don't shoot me. I'm just the messenger.
no, respectfully, I see what you talk about because, like you said, like I said, my initial reaction is, "Oh snap, she's walking up to me." So that means majority of my life I have to do a lot of flirting or initiating a lot of talking. So for like I said, to hear the dynamic, switch around. Okay, my bad.
So if a woman is forward, I think it's a little different than flirting. Just winking or smiling across the room, or hi, how are you? That's different than walking up. And I could see how being forward could be um considered
Turn them
different. Yeah, it could be taken as a different dynamic. And I always like to,
forward, right, shorty, and don't be a menace. You ain't
you
going
know,
nowhere.
I mean, every nowadays, being a promiscuous woman is seen as being liberal. And, like we saw in the Sex and the City series, you had Samantha. That's actually, women actually look at that as being in control of their sex lives these days, you
Or
know.
Horse.
all right, so I ask you this question: what is the safest and most confident way a woman could approach a man in public?
I think if you're really exuding femininity and the best version of yourself, and you're smelling good and you're looking good, and all you got to do is just walk up and just smile and walk away, and just
What? You
that's
playing Chase?
happened. Yeah, it works. It can work. I'm not saying it works for every guy. Like I don't believe in absolutes. There's a spectrum
No,
of
respectfully,
experience.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, there's a sister. I think I mentioned her. She's beautiful. I think she may be African, and she is just absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful, glowing, melanated sister with a humongous afro. And she's always dressed in these gorgeous, fashionable clothing. And her content is just her walking through a crowded group of people. And just the reaction she gets from men is I just love it. Love it. I love it. I was like, that's power. Because men just drop everything and follow her. And I just love to watch you. I said, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's feminine power. And so when you really exude it, it doesn't take much, you know.
Respectfully, gentlemen, what do you think?
What as far as what?
How you think a woman should not approach you because y'all married, but how you think for the gentleman out there?
I usually look for subtle signs. So like if she rip her shirt open and show me her brassiere, I think that would be the perfect subtle sign.
Didn't you just talk about whores, you know?
Confident.
I you know I got that from my older cousin. He said that she ripped open her
Confident.
shirt
Show
to
me
show
your
me a subtle
confidence.
sign. He's, she ripped open her shirt to show me a subtle sign. Bars. But Dirt said that. But yeah, for the most part, I feel like what V was saying, I think when you want you got to use a certain type of bait to get a certain type of fish. I just was having a conversation about that with my little brother and his homie just now. Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine as far as a smile and a quick little wave, eye contact, eyebrows raised up. But that's just how I was raised. Like I know how to read it. You feel me? Let me let me initiate and I'll have more respect. Is it right? No. Is it wrong? I don't think it's wrong either. I just think it's just the way we're wired and the way we're programmed.
It's nature.
You feel? Yeah.
It's
You
just
feel me?
nature. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. You smile, you wave, you give me a nice little subtle sign. You feel me? Nowadays, the subtle signs is, you feel me? Like a shorty might sway her hips a certain type of way, walking by you. You know what I mean? With a quick little turn back, let you know what's popping with it. Yeah, I mean, I'm with all of them. More than I am with straightforward. You know what I mean? I'm here to take dick type conversation. Pause. I don't I don't want that by any means. You know what I mean?
Let a
I'll
man
land
be
with
a
that.
let a man be a man.
Yeah. If you come at
Dirt.
me, hold on. I'm a land right after this. If
My
you
bad,
come
my
at
bad.
me with if you come at me with the straightforwardness, I'm a thrash you, and then I'm gonna send you about your merry way. Give you exactly what you wanted. You got what you wanted. Thanks, man. And now I land with that.
Respectfully. The dirt. How you think
I'm gonna
gentlemen should
say
be approached?
I'm gonna say I just don't like all of that apprehensive, nervous shit. That's what I don't like. To me, like I said before, it's when you like, oh, so scared because of your failures in the past. To me, it highlights them at a high level. When you're like, yo, I don't want to sleep with somebody on the first date, but you can admit that you did that before, it's like it just makes it seem like, oh, so that didn't work. So now that's why you're not doing it. Not because you're not that person, but you're only not doing it because you don't want to fail again. So I just feel like to me, I just don't like apprehensiveness of decision making or moving forward because it's like, oh, you're only not doing this because of where you fell before. And that to me, again, like I said before, it shows that yeah, you basically was a porn star before, and now you want to be a nun for me. You know what I mean? Don't
Oh
try to.
boy.
I'm just talking personally of it. I'm talking. I'm just talking about me. Like to me, that's what I hear when you telling me like, oh, I can't do this now, or I don't want to do this or whatever. I don't like apprehensiveness. I like decisiveness to some extent on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to get to know me, get to know me. If you're trying to go on a date, let's go on a date. If you're trying to do whatever, let's do whatever. I don't have time to sit there and hear how, oh, I can't do this because I did it last time and when I did this before, and you know,
Hmm.
it didn't work then.
Okay.
I don't. It didn't work then. Okay, well, that's good. It didn't work. Matt, all right, Venus. If I came to you and if a guy did that to a girl, they would not like that. If you said to me right now, or a guy you was
No, no,
dating,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just taking notes.
no, I
I'm
know
not
what you're saying, but
disagreeing.
I'm not saying you are disagreeing, but I'm just trying to give you an example to help with your notes. If a guy said to you, he was like, "Yo, take me out to dinner," he goes, "Oh, I can't take you out to dinner because I took a girl out to dinner before and ain't nothing. We end up not going out." How would you wouldn't want to hear that?
We didn't get married.
It's like what?
But a lot of
Yeah,
guys
I
do
agree.
feel like that
I'm
now.
not disagreeing. I'm just,
I'm
but
not saying.
I,
I'm just giving you an
okay,
example from a.
okay.
I'm not saying
Yes, I
disagree.
get,
I
I
swear.
feel you. I'm picking up
Yeah,
what
it's
you're putting
like
down.
nobody wants to hear that. And nobody wants to believe that all your decisions or your movements you're making, like I said, is based on failure. Because it's like,
Hmm.
to me, it makes that failure seem stronger than what it should be. It's too forming for you. It's too forming. It's like, I don't even know if I'm meeting you anymore. I'm meeting the person that didn't get, I don't call guys first. Guys have to text me first. Or I don't do this because I text the guy so much, or I don't buy it's I don't want to hear that shit. I really don't want to hear nothing about what happened before and why that didn't work out for you. I don't give a fuck. And I think that I definitely don't want to hear that that's the reason why you're behaving in a certain way. I don't want to hear that. So yeah, that those are things that would be to me as far just being like just chilling and acting like, you know, you're new to this and you're just everything you're doing is based on our connections or lack of connection or whatever, not based on somebody else's mistakes or let you downs. And I'll land with that.
Exactly. Um, damn, I had something I was gonna say.
Mm.
Oh, how a woman. All right. How you should approach me if you online is go like, share, subscribe, comment in the section. And but if you see me in public, you feel me, live and in your face and stuff like that, or just a young or women that you feel me are thinking about it. I agree with V. Smelling good, looking good. You feel
Sashaying.
me? Yeah, have a nice energy about you. And I would say in some way be helpful, be show that you are supportive. However, you could make that happen in that interaction. Because, like I said, the original, not the original question, but tap back. I said loyalty is, I define it as respect and support. So if you're supporting me by having my back and you're showing that in, one of our first interactions, that would be big. You feel me? Even though, like I said, it's taboo that women approach men. Men is supposed to initiator, da da da, boom boom bang. So, however, a woman out there, if you want to, and you do, yeah, be looking good, smelling good, and be supportive, be helpful in that little interaction to see, how you fit in there. You see how you could be a part of that. You feel me? And make that better type shit. I did have something else to say. I forgot. Probably say after this commercial. Any final thoughts? Anybody want to add something?
Only thing I will say about a woman who's promiscuous is, I mean, I understand, a man, how they would, categorize her in a certain kind of way. But isn't today a different time? Like, I'm just, because I
No, you're
think,
right. It is, but shouldn't that go across the board?
Ain't no different time. We just gotta really tell it like it is. because
Seen
that's the
that go
Well,
across the
disconnect.
board though, Venus.
As we get older, we get wiser, but the
yes.
wisdom comes from hiding certain things that is, that the young people or younger us would like picture our younger us right now wouldn't
Yeah.
we wouldn't even imagine about, so our younger us wouldn't even be talking about the things we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's how much of a we developed and we evolved into. So
And
that's
the
who
only reason
we're
why
not
I
talking to our
say,
younger self, but we are talking to,
because, okay, like take Amsterdam, where prostitution is legal.
Nevada.
Um,
You ain't gotta go to Amsterdam, you go right to Nevada. They
To
got
the
ranches.
ranch, the bunny ranch.
You go right to ATL. You don't gotta go. It's all over the place. You
where,
can
but
go
I'm,
right on
so
OnlyFans.
where it is legal, but I think it's just that I think the value of a woman shifts, so even what he was talking about earlier in relation to a woman who she's ambivalent because of something that failed from a previous relationship. I think she just shouldn't say anything. It's just too much information of, okay, I'm not going to be promiscuous anymore because, and you just don't say anything. Don't, he
Fine.
doesn't need to know. He just doesn't need to know.
Respectfully, yeah. A real
And
man
I
doesn't
agree.
know anyway.
I agree with you completely. That's the point. It's not. I get it, but I don't want to hear it
Yeah. Yeah, you
because it
just don't
makes
need.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say that's why. Just say that's. Don't say nothing about
Well,
it.
that's a
Just say
flag too.
no.
That's a proving that she hasn't healed from it. If she could circle back around and bring it up to you, she hasn't healed from it. Something that doesn't affect her or is not a part of her life no more is no. She wouldn't talk about it. Just like the future, there's goals that you're trying to reach. If you're not talking about those, you feel me? Because you're no longer in that situation. So why are you talking about it? Since we're talking about intangible things, you feel me? So you should be more leaning towards
Yeah.
something that you want to grasp versus something that you feel me? You had
Yeah.
no control over.
There's a song that a friend of mine wrote. I don't know if I can find it. He's a friend of a friend. It's called "It's My Pussy. I Can Do What I Want." And so I
Okay.
just think there's different levels. There's just different levels. But I can understand, if a man finds a woman who is promiscuous, um, in her mind, she's no less valuable than any other woman. She's just This is how she
But
chooses
she
to live
wants
her
the
life.
treatment of a person who's not.
She's more
That's what.
powerful.
That's the
Power of
confusion.
the PUSSY.
Well, I would
The
say is the
strongest force
opposite.
on this damn planet. Niggas better get with it. Lay down. Lay down and get down.
I would say that is
I'm just, mhm.
the opposite as far as like I feel like promiscuous women and women that give it up easily, I feel like they feel in their head, at least what they project, as if they're more important than the nun girl. Cause the first thing they usually say when they're talking to like the goody two shoe girl is like, I could fuck your nigga today and he'll fuck type shit. I put
She
this
does, yeah. She usually knows something that the goody two shoe girl doesn't know.
I put this
Although,
pussy on your nigga and make him never come home again. That's how they talk.
That's how good it is.
No, but I'm saying I would say that they project as if they're more valuable or more important than the goody two shoes female
I
because they're
mean, respectful.
promiscuous.
But yeah, if somebody who studies Karma Sutra, we know that when the phallus connects into the vagina,
Selma.
there's a,
Oh
and a
my
certain energy that is going down. So even with encompassing that energy, when if to go deep and delve in that, that's a science that you feel me. Those two will either have to be interested in, or you feel me, no. And this is the reason why the person would come to you with those problems, because it takes a good 7 years for this. It takes a good 7 years if they separate for a man's energy to get off of a woman. You feel me? If they had sex.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why she has these stories and doesn't really know why, or haven't seek therapy or come to you with them, because she hasn't found a way to, sage
To
herself, get
heal.
them up off you, and heal from it. So that's
Yeah.
a certain way. But this is the right, people got to do the work, do the knowledge, read some books, and get up out there. Is the
Yeah.
confusion is only because you don't know, but there's some tools and there's some some ways out there to put you on game type shit. Shit, we've been rocking for a little bit, man. Let's go to this commercial. We could get up out of here and shit. Unless y'all I'll
No,
come
I'm
back
going to
with
say
you.
good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
It's,
Good night.
all right. I appreciate you all so much.
Yes, man. Yes, man.
Love and
Love
light.
and light.
Love,
Blessings,
love.
success.
Same thing.
Man, just quick commercial, fellas, and then I guess we get up out of here. Unless y'all want to hear one more question.
This is BK.
It's Mike Payne.
Carly.
34 and a half.
Hot boy Shaq. Tyrell. And I play Tyrell.
And Monica.
Jay.
Asu.
Mo.
Big Prince in that series Make Some Noise.
You gon' hear me now, feel me now. I'm 10 toes, no small talk, straight to the pin.
Throughout the season, you see him going through where in the beginning he wanted to just do his music and work a regular 9 to 5, but as things continue to happen to him, he has to respond to the environments that he gets put in.
Whoa. Damn. Nah, fucked up, cuz. Yo, my bad, bro. Where the fuck was you at anyway? I was trying to get a little bottle or something, type of weapon that even the odds, it was more than us.
A lot of people called me and was like, when they see me, I like to say I retreated, which is something people do in war all the time. They retreat to, regroup. Another word I like to use when I think about that scene. People thought I was like, punani.
Nigga, you must not know who the fuck I am, nigga. This my city. Y'all beat his ass. Get up, bitch ass. You ain't talking niggas. Oh, right. We outside. I had people say, you just being you. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't no bully, though. I ain't no bully, but yeah, don't take me there, bro. But other than that, yeah, just I'm that nigga, and I definitely feel like I'm that nigga. You supposed to feel like that, you feel me? Yeah. Damn, she fine as hell. What the fuck you doing with this bum ass nigga? Might well come to my section.
Nigga, I wouldn't give you the time of day if you paid for it. Like she's a good person at heart. I just think she's in the wrong career field. You'd be surprised what type of men I see on a daily. Oh, what? That make you nervous? You scared?
Nah, not even.
I think you kind of see her go from a stable person to just kind of really wanting to hold on to a relationship that probably does need to end. Excuse me? It's been a few days with who? Who you been working with? And who are you about to compare me to?
I'm just tired.
No.
I need to get some rest.
No, let's talk about it. Who are you about to compare me to?
Nobody.
Was it the girl that dropped you off? Yeah. I saw that person drop you off. Who the fuck was that?
Friend that, everybody try to keep around in life, that's still, doing the normal things, having a job, taking care of bills.
No, I ain't got much, man, but I know I can only $2.
Nah, man, you ain't have to do that.
Man, look, bullshit. It's your dream, man. You're my boy. Plus, I gotta make sure you give me a shout out, man, when you get your Grammy. I gotta make sure I contribute to your dream, man.
Go watch I'm So Tyrell, Make Some Noise on YouTube. Go watch it now. It's on YouTube now. Now we get a licensing deal and they tell us to take it off. You won't be seeing it and you'll be mad because it's on some sort of platform. So you getting first dibs to watch it before anybody. As we create it, we load it up and you get to watch it.
Fellas, y'all got one more question or y'all wanna be out of here?
Knicks just won.
Oh yeah.
Shout out
Knicks
to
for life. The life we live, nigga. Nick life.
Nah, niggas is Knicks fans. about the Knicks? What about the Knicks?
Uh,
They've been on fire though. I ain't gonna front. That's all I'm hearing.
they in the
Knicks,
Eastern
Knicks,
Conference
Knicks.
Championship, man. They in the Eastern Conference. You know, we've been waiting for this forever. It's like we've been hoping that they can make it here. You know what I mean? And they finally been able to make it. And that's a good thing as a you know as a lifelong fan to finally get here. You know, it's amazing. So I'm just happy to live to see this. You know.
Last time I think we played in this was the Subway Series.
Well, I'm a Mets fan, and the Mets didn't even win that. They didn't win the Subway Series.
I forgot who won, but I was there. Me and CeeLo was there that game. I remember.
Yeah, the Mets ain't win since '86. The Mets ain't win since '86.
They was cursing out Strawberry. They was like, "You bastard, you did." I'm looking at these niggas like, "The fuck he do?"
Remember that time? Was you there when we seen Strawberry, when we met him or whatever? I forgot. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's amazing. I'm just happy that, like I said, as a diehard Knicks fan, you know, who bleeds blue and orange forever, who always has. Just happy to be finally in this position because it's just been a lot of hurt, always wanting to make it and have it happen and not happening for so long. It's just a blessing to have it finally happening. You know.
I wasn't always a Knicks fan, but I definitely was a John Starks fan. John Starks was my guy when he dunked on Jordan, and I had that. My Ace Mac had the poster. When I seen that, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I gotta get this."
No, I get that everybody hasn't always been a Knicks fan. I get that. It's not, it's just my life. I know you haven't always been a Knicks fan, but I'm just
you either. Fuck. Just started this year. I'm still not a fan. I'm big up. Shout out, nigga. It's AI to our DI, nigga. Allen Iverson. I don't give a damn about nothing and nobody. It's Allen Iverson. And like I said, I mess with Kobe and starting to find out how well he was outside of basketball. I'm like, oh no, Kobe, he was one of them ones. So, but yeah, I just watched the AI. Was that the AI documentary? My son Bubba Chuck. That's my guy right there. You heard? Go tap into that if you fuck with Allen Iverson. Good doc. But yeah, when John Starks dunked on Jordan, he was one of them ones.
I remember I cried when that happened because I thought he was really gonna win. I remember crying because I was so like, you know what I mean, so deep into it of thinking the Knicks is gonna win and it meaning so much to me at that point in my life that we would, you know what I mean, be so close to a championship. But it didn't work that time. This time, I believe in us. We just beat the Cavs. They're tired. They went game 7 with Detroit, so they tired as all hell. You know, and then I think that it's finally paying off, man. Last year we made it to the Eastern Conference Championship too against the Indiana, and they lost to the Thunder. But really, now the Thunder just lost to San Diego. It ain't over yet, but they already lost one to San Diego. So we started off better than them. So
okay, following this thing.
Oh yeah, I'm all the way. I don't know. My old age, I like you said, I haven't been a sport, but my old age, I'm more. And then like it is the Knicks being involved has got me a little bit more deeper. Pause. Like I just care a little bit more, and I'm just watching it. Let me see what's going on. And
you go check you go check on your Knicks, man. And if you like this episode, I appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hype me up, push me into the algorithm so people could talk, do more talks, and you feel me, and get this thing in there that'll help me out. We got HSA tomorrow at 8. Beat me there, don't meet me there. You want to give them a taste of the topics? Pause.
It's gonna be news topics. I don't feel like grabbing my phone right now. It's gonna be a bunch of news. We got a bunch of different stuff. We got the Take Me to Jail segment, so y'all know that's gonna be special. So tap in for that.
Sure. You already tune in, man. Beat me there, don't meet me there. Man, all week, Monday to Friday, man. We gonna have it, we here, man. We gotta since y'all here, man, I'm gonna say it online. Some Saturday. I was thinking Saturday SmackDown.
Yeah. Hood want to do a Saturday show too, but nobody's gonna really show up. And then that's the whole thing. I'll be here at the crib, so I wouldn't mind going on Saturday and doing some talking. But it just is people going to be there? That's the whole question. It's not, to me. It's not about the show itself. It's like, if I'm not doing nothing that Saturday, I would be on the show. But I don't want to have to come up with topics for that much for it because I'm already tired.
Topics for what? What are y'all trying
It
to
ain't
do
no
on
topic.
Saturday?
It's a SmackDown. You just get in the ring. You whatever. If you want to rap, go ahead, rap. If you wanted to debate about something, let's debate it. Talk about it. We just bring it to the ring and just, you feel me?
I wanted to do some battle rap shit on Saturday.
Yeah.
We could do that. However, whatever, let's get it going, man. Let's do
He
something.
wanted to talk about battle rap on Saturday, not do a battle rap. That woman should
Yo, y'all niggas is gonna be the only niggas talking because
Yeah,
I
we
just watch
already.
this shit. I don't know shit about shit. But I'll sit there as a spectator. I'll be the moderator. We can do that. I'll make sure it don't get too too heated. I'll be the J Black of that. Yeah, that's what we do. Call it. It's face off. Do that shit like a face off, and we just, you feel me? Yeah, just talk about it. Respectfully, but yeah, tap in. You already Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Land your plane every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. HSA. You already. To the next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your destination. Please remain seated until you have properly processed. Keep your mind clear until next time.
Land your plane, land your plane, land your plane.